Ladies and gentlemen, Boswell Media Sports presents Friday Night Football.
Boswell Media Sports presents Leake Academy Rebel Football. Now, here is the voice of the Rebels,
Philip Palmertree. The kickoff of the 2025 season is finally here, and it's time for us to get week one of Leake Academy football started on Friday, August 29. The Rebels begin the 2025 season at home against longtime rival Simpson Academy. The Rebels had to beat the Cougars twice last year, in Week 10 in Madden to capture the district title, and again in Madden 2 weeks later as part of Leake's march to the 5A state championship game. This year, the Rebels and the Cougars are no longer in the same division or even grouped in the same class after MAIS realignment in the offseason. But the Cougars, now in 4A, and the Rebels, now in 3A, will still get after each other tonight in what we expect to be another Rock'em Sock'em Leake Simpson showdown as LA tries to earn a Week 1 win for the first time since 2022. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Crossgates Jewelers pregame. I'm Philip Palmertree. Thanks for listening. Billy Steen is our studio producer. Mason Middleton is behind the action camera this evening. And if you can hear me, you found us on Cruisin' 98 or the free Cruisin' 98 mobile app or streaming live at kicks96news.com. You just click on the Listen Live tab for Cruisin' 98. And of course, you can watch LA football on the Triple M Motors video stream. That's available at kicks96news.com. The link there will send you over to the Boswell Media Sports YouTube channel. Tonight's broadcast is powered by Central Electric Power Association. There is a lot of ground for us to cover before kickoff at the top of the hour. In a little bit, I'll give you the Philadelphia Gun and Pawn starting lineups. You will meet a new member of our broadcast team, and he and I will size up the Simpson Cougars in tonight's matchup. But first, a visit with the Rebels head coach, Brian Pickens. All that is straight ahead as the Crossgates Jewelers pregame continues from Boswell Media Sports.
For 87 years, we've been your biggest fans. Rest assured, while you are cheering on your favorite team this season, Central Electric's team is working around the clock to provide reliable service year-round. Whether building power lines in extreme weather conditions or restoring power on a stormy night, Central Electric employees take your electric service seriously. We will be there to keep the game on. So enjoy this football season and take comfort in our team's reliable service all year long. It's our commitment to you, serving you since 1937. This institution is an equal opportunity provider and employer.
Baptist League Rural Health Clinics have a variety of healthcare options with primary care, pediatrics, and women's health. Providing care at 3 locations in Carthage, Walnut Grove, and Madden. Call 601-267-1470 today to schedule your appointment. Extended hours and Saturdays are available at our primary care clinic located in Carthage. Baptist League, making your health care our #1 priority.
Walk into the shimmering world of Crossgates Jewelers and Pearl, where every piece of fine jewelry will tell a story and represent the memories of your life. Their GIA graduate gemologist will show you their exquisite collection of engagement rings and bridal sets, answering any questions you may have when choosing the perfect diamond and setting. Their expert in-house repairs ensures your cherished items are in the best hands. Crossgate Jewelers, located at the corner of Cross Park and Highway 80 in Pearl. You are unique, and your jewelry should be too.
Thanks to Rosebud General Store, I can get all I need to work the farm right here at home.
Because they go hand in hand with what you use. Spreaders, hay bale rings, cattle catch pins, head gates, and fencing supplies. And let's not forget a great clothing department with boots and shoes to clothe the whole family.
Plus feed and medicine for all our animals, and even a deli to feed us farmers at lunch. That's my faithful friends at Rosebud General Store, Highway 487 East in Rosebud.
Life is full of surprises, but with the right insurance, you can be prepared for whatever comes your way.
At South Group Insurance, they offer tailored insurance solutions for your home, auto, business, and farm. Whether it's protecting your family or securing your future, they're always there to help.
South Group Insurance agents are local, experienced, and ready to help provide personalized service that's right for you.
South Group Insurance, just off the Court Square in Carthage.
Ready for your next ride? Triple M Motors has been serving you for 54 years, offering unbeatable prices and an impressive selection to match every lifestyle. With easy financing options and top-notch service long after you drive away, your car buying experience is hassle-free from start to finish. Trust the name that's been in your corner for over 5 decades. Stop by Triple M Motors today and see why our customers keep coming back, generation after generation. Triple M Motors, Highway 35, Carthage.
Welcome to the Crossgate Jewelers pregame as we get you ready for 7 o'clock kickoff between your Leake Academy Rebels and the Simpson Academy Cougars. And joining us as part of this pregame show is the Rebels head coach, Brian Pickens. Coach, here we are. It's finally game day, and it sure is good to have football in front of us.
Oh, it is. It is. You know, ready to get out there. You know, you stay in the weight room during off season, and you stay in there during the summer, and then you have these practices. So, you know, it's fun to get out here and get started.
Well, Coach, here you are starting, by my count, is this the 24th year in Madden?
24th year in Madden. Yeah, this my 24th kickoff here.
And 178 wins in that period of time. But I want you to take a minute first and think about what it was like when you had your first head coaching job in high school. And I want to lead off with asking you, what advice would you give a first-year head coach who just called you up out of the blue and said, all right, you know, you've been at this a little while. Tell me something I need to know.
Probably I would tell the young version of me to calm down. I'm a lot more relaxed when I walk out on the field nowadays than what I used to be. I think I sometimes get outside my head a lot of times when you're starting off because you're worried about everything, and you know, the biggest thing is now I think is experience takes you through. You better have those worries about a week before, and that makes sure that you've prepared everything that you might have forgot during that week of preparation. You know, little things, you know what to do in case you're backed up punting. You know, just the different aspects of it, and make sure you've prepared yourself and your team for these situations that will come up, because I think that's where a lot of the anxiety of young coaching comes from. Right before that kickoff, you get to think about 100 things that could go wrong. You're not thinking about what's going right. You think about what could go wrong, and you know, you do it a long time. You start to know this could go wrong, so you prepare for it. You're prepared, and then still things can happen, and you can be prepared. It's still not always fun to go through, but you know, you handle a lot better mentally. But it's the mental aspect of it more than anything else. Just have yourself prepared, get your team prepared, and good things will happen for you.
When you talk about nerves and what might go wrong and mental preparation, your answer makes me think about the young men in that locker room who are either dressing out for the first time and taking the field tonight, or maybe young men who are going to be expected to contribute in ways that they haven't contributed before, starting for the first time, things like that. How do you guide and advise those young men when you know the adrenaline's pumping and that they've got a big challenge in front of them?
There's not much you can do. A lot of that's just those pregame jitters. The adrenaline starts to kick in, you know, and like I said, you can't beat that feeling. Even with myself, 30 years into it, you still have those, adrenaline feels come about you. But, biggest thing is in the locker room. I used to did not do a very good job of it, but now it's more just kind of give that calming effect. As I always say, we want to recreate what we did in practice out here on the field. Now, the adrenaline is going to make things go a little faster. You're going to run faster. You're going to hit harder. Come off the ball a little quicker. Things like that, and that's what you want. You want that adrenaline for those moments to kind of get you to the first part of the game. But as I always say, once you get about that first, second series of the game, basically basically what you're doing, you're recreating practice. And, I try to instill in them, you practice how you play, and you're going to play how you practice. And so that's probably the biggest thing I try to do to our kids, to calm them down, especially big games. First game of the season, a lot of times a big playoff game, a state championship. The nerves are normal. You want them that gets that adrenaline rush. That's what gets everybody excited and amped up before the game, and you want that, and that's fun. Those are great memories to have. But you want them to understand that what they did in practice is what they're going to do tonight, and you're just going to recreate it. And if you had a great practice week, then you're probably going to play really well because you're just duplicating what you worked on all week. And I think that calms everybody down. I think calms the coaches down, calms players down, because if you called it in practice, you're going to call it in the game. If you did it this way in practice, you're going to do it that way in the game. And so that's why I always say the preparation. You've got to enjoy the preparation for the game, and because that's what leads to true success.
Well, before we close out this segment, talk a little bit about what this team's summer prep and August practice has been like leading up to the start of this 2025 season.
Well, they've had a great summer. I told you in the coach show about them coming up there on their own, which was just as a coach, literally you can't say any more about a group than to say, hey, they came up there on their own. I mean, that speaks multitudes about them. And then from there they had a great summer workout. 7-on-7 weights, conditioning, things like that. Our kids do a really good job of running during the summer, because we know once you get to the preseason practices, there's a lot of learning. There's a lot of effort goes into those preseason practices preparing yourself. So we try to get a lot of our conditioning done now during that preparation time. The drills that we're actually doing, but a lot of our running, conditioning, just pure endurance, we try to do a lot of that during the summer. And our kids do a great job of doing that. They come every day and they work hard. And so, like I said, just as far as a work effort, this group has got it. And I've talked about that for the last several years. How good of a practice group we've had, and this group's no different. Like I said, practices are really fun with them, and they may not be having the most fun, but as a coach, you're having fun because they're willing to learn. And we have some. We have some. I'll just say we have fun practices. The kids get after it. They hoop around, holler. Like they're having fun, and so that says a lot about how they're going to play. If a group of kids can enjoy practice, enjoy being coached, then they're going to have success once they step onto the football field. And this group is I think it's going to be very similar to the groups we've had in the past few years.
When we come back, we'll take a bird's eye view of this 2025 Leake Academy Rebel football team with head coach Brian Pickens. So stay with us as Leake Academy football continues.
Roll into Junction Deli, where nourishment meets journey. On the menu, delectable breakfast, lunch, and supper. Whether you're in Philadelphia, Newton, Union, Carthage, Louisville, Oxford, or Scuba, we're the local pit stop that blends the allure of delicious food with the convenience of a fuel station. Remember, when your stomach grumbles or your tank covers on empty, we're just around the corner. Download the Junction app for ordering convenience and look for the new car wash in Louisville next to Walmart.
Did you know most people overpay by up to 50% for individual health insurance? David Barham Insurance will save you that. Plus, David has the best rates on the market for Medicare supplement. The solution is not on the internet or far away. It's right here in Carthage. David Barham, a local insurance agent you can trust. Make sure you have the best coverage and price. Call David Barham, 601-941-1280 on the north side of the square in Carthage.
Sunrise over Neshoba County signals another hard-working day, and locals know just where to get the job done right. Neshoba County Co-op serves our community, supporting farmers, gardeners, and home growers with trusted supplies and friendly advice. From feed and seed to hardware and clothing, every aisle is filled with the essentials you use to make your living. Rooted in Mississippi traditions, the Neshoba County Co-op is proud to help your work flourish. Every season, every reason. Neshoba County Co-op, Philadelphia.
My knee rehab was 100% successful thanks to performance therapy. They sat down with me and created a plan to ensure I would achieve my personal rehabilitation goals, and they encouraged me to get the most out of every session. Performance therapy provided plenty of material for me to continue my rehab in between sessions too. Hopefully I don't have to see them in the future, but if I did, I would definitely choose performance therapy again.
For more information, go to performancetherapyms.com. Performance Therapy, Carthage, Philadelphia, and Forest.
When dealing with something as complex as taxes and payroll can be, you can turn to Weaver Tax and Accounting to make things easier. Their professional staff works diligently to make sure your business and personal returns are complete and finished in a timely manner. Weaver Tax and Accounting will also execute your bookkeeping and payroll, bringing you the best in tax services since 1979. Weaver Tax and Accounting, 20 South Street, Sebastopol, and 109 Chadwick Avenue in Walnut Grove.
When it comes to finding the perfect home, experience matters. Lee Realty is connecting buyers with quality new construction homes tailored to their needs. Hey, it's Stacey O'Neill with Lee Realty. Whether you're starting fresh or upgrading, our team will guide you every step of the way, making the process simple, smooth, and stress-free. Ready to get started? Give us a call today.
We don't want everyone's business, just yours. Lee Realty, 206 West 50th Street, Philadelphia, 601-562-7123.
Welcome back to the Crossgate Jewelers pregame. Things are getting exciting at Thagard Field here in Madden as Leake's about to kick off the 2025 season against Simpson Academy. We're in the middle of our weekly conversation with Rebels head coach Brian Pickens. And, Coach, you and I in future weeks will really break down some of the individuals and performances in the different position groups. We'll talk about the offensive line. We'll talk about the linebackers, the receivers, and so forth. But for this segment, we'll kind of take the drone view over the top and talk a little bit about this offense. We've been prolific at moving the ball, especially through the air last year with George Wilcox, who's back for a senior season and certainly got a lot of hype and attention as one of the top quarterbacks in Mississippi, whether you're talking about MAIS or MHSAA quarterbacks. And we had a breakout year last year from a sophomore, now junior, in Adcock at running back, and Garrett's back for us this year. Talk about what you expect out of this offense in 2025.
To be honest with you, I'm expecting a lot of the same. We've got a excellent group of receivers, coming back, and these guys have been making, plays in the scrimmages. We've had 2 scrimmages leading up to tonight. We've seen them make some, big catches. Very athletic out there at receiver position. The running game, and of course, when you talk about the passing, George is, a huge part of that, and like I said, he's really been connecting well with this group of receivers that we have. And then you mentioned Adcock. I think that says a lot about, the offensive line, their ability to protect George and run block. And we bring back 3 of these guys, have two younger guys coming up to fill our 2 tackle spots. But like I said, we feel like we'll just, there will be some learning curves. I mean, just, whenever it doesn't matter if we bring the same guys. It's that Friday night lights. It's getting that timing down, things like that. And you're going to see some learning curves early. But I think as soon as those click, we'll be back kind of doing what we did last year.
On the defensive side of the ball, at least on paper, it looks like the back end, the secondary, we've got some experience, some young men who've played a lot of snaps. And then also we've got some new guys stepping up front as well. So talk a little bit about this Rebel defense.
I think our secondary is probably going to be one of the better secondaries we've had in a long time. They've done a tremendous job in 7-on-7 scrimmages. Like I said, they can cover, they can come tackle you. Our linebacker core led by Colby Kemp in there. Heck, they're flying to the football, and our D line, I think it's going to be one of the more athletic D lines that we've had. We've got a lot of guys that can move in there. We've done some different things with those guys through the scrimmages and practice, and so I think we're going to be able to use our athleticism to get them to the football and let them make plays. And so defensively, you asked me about the offensive side. I said I think we'll we'll be kind of picking up where we were last year. Even though we did lose some big play guys, I think we're going to see some guys fill those roles. But defensively is where I'm excited. I'm looking forward to see what we do tonight. Like I said, in scrimmages, they've been flying to the football and making big plays for us, and so I'm excited to get them on the field and really see what our defense can do. Because we've talked so much about our offense, but now if we get that defense going, the offense explosion will be great. But it's a lot nicer when you're getting big plays by your defense and keeping their scores low.
Well, I think back to last year, and we certainly had a really steady group of seniors, particularly along the defensive line, outside linebackers. But through that year, as often happens, we had to deal with some injuries, and some underclassmen had to step up and play a lot of snaps, and particularly some important snaps in important games. And though at the time last year, that was part of the challenge, I know right now you're thankful those guys got the reps that they got, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was good, especially on the D-line, getting some of these guys in. Mark was one of those that came in as a sophomore and got some, playing time in there. And, a lot of guys, were rotating in and out, especially in their defensive front. So, like I said, they got some playing time, and I think it's going to help us for coming up in this year.
Yeah, y'all intend to run still a lot of rotation. I know that's what you like to do. You think you got guys who can take that out and spread out the workload?
Well, that's actually a great question. I think we will be able to get a good bit of rotation in. We've been very fortunate this year as we go into the season. We've probably were in our two scrimmages, we were full out, totally platooned. We didn't have anybody playing on the other side of the football. In the past, of course, you see Niall Bitt receiver and then safety, and Jack Harkin receiver, cornerback, and those other guys played both ways. And we feel like that's a big key, especially early in the season, to try to keep guys playing one way. Now, as the season goes on, a lot of times you will see a guy come from offense to defense and play both ways. But they're conditioned. They've got their, they've got that game conditioning in, and like we talked about earlier, the adrenaline. You can take a football player and run him as much as you want to, and you are still not going to have him to the condition it takes to go out there and play with the adrenaline that you have as you step onto a football field the first couple of nights. And then the body starts to adapt to that adrenaline because everything is faster. You can practice as hard as you want to. That adrenaline factor makes it just amp up about times 100. And so it's hard to simulate that type of condition in practice. And once you get to the season, now guys they're in shape, they're ready to go. They got as I say, their game legs going. Now they can help us on both sides of football. But early in the season, it's great to platoon them. And we have always had a couple of guys that played both ways. Literally, in the two scrimmages, nobody played both sides of the football. So you may not see the rotation that you sometimes see, but you're also going to see a fresh group of guys in there. So like I said, we can probably sub one or two, but we got a squad of 34, and when you start tuning, that doesn't leave a whole lot of linemen, let's just say, to rotate. So most of those guys will be out there and they'll be getting playing time. So I'm really excited about the fact that we do have the ability to do that this year.
We expect to see some fresh faces contributing in lots of ways in the kicking game as well. Talk about that a little bit for us.
Yeah, Caden Stovall is, he's going to handle all our kicking duties. Now during the practices, Jack Johnson's actually been working with the punting some, but like all our place kicking, extra point, field goal, kickoff, that's going to be Caden Stovall, and Holden will be. Easton Page will be his holder, and we bring back, now this is for a coach, this is what you want. You bring back the same long snap. We had Tanner Walsworth doing our extra point field goal snapping, and Wright Pelokas was doing our punt snapping. And I'm going to tell you something. You asked me earlier, you said, what do you tell a young coach? Hope you have an experienced long snapper. That is the thing that will keep me awake all hours. And if we didn't have an experienced long snapper, I would just tell you that last night I would have slept a wink, because all you can see is that long snap. I mean, I don't like talking too much. I don't like the long snappers to ever hear that because my oldest son was our long snapper, and you just think you don't talk to a long snap. As a coach, you know a lot of things go wrong that long snap, and but having those guys back, hey, man, it helped you sleep last night, because you talk about things that go wrong, and you think about all the things that did we prepare for this, prepare for that. It's a big deal for that long snapper on the punt team to get out there about his own 15-yard line and punt and to snap a ball between his legs backwards 14 yards to a punter. So we're excited. We bring back our long snap. So we got experience in the long snapping. But yeah, Caden has looked really good kicking off and doing the extra point field goal. Actually, at the scrimmages, we actually worked on some of that live, and in front of a crowd during scrimmage. And I think he was perfect on all his extra points. And like I said, and I mentioned Jack. Jack has been actually doing some of the punting, just when we work on our punt team. But I believe Cade will be our starting punter.
After the break, Coach Pickens will be back with us for one more segment, and we'll talk about this 2025 Leake Academy coaching staff. So don't go anywhere. The Crossgate Jewelers pregame continues from Boswell Media Sports.
Build your barn with Ozark Ag from the ground up. Expanding your poultry operation is simple and fast when you turn to the poultry pros that you'll find at Ozark Ag. They're your go-to partner for poultry barn construction. So let's check that checklist, shall we? Full service design and build? Check. Equipment installation? Check. And service that lasts long after the barn is finished? Check. And by the way, this just in? Check. Build strong together. Call or go by to get started. Ozark Ag, Highway 16, Carthage.
Moore's Pharmacy in Carthage, Sebastopol, and Walnut Grove appreciate you, their customers. We have a beautiful selection of gifts with free gift wrapping. We are one of the only pharmacies around to offer compounding and women's hormone replacement therapy. Moore's Pharmacy accepts all insurance, including Medicaid. Our 2-lane drive-thru and prescription synchronization will make your visit very convenient. Come see us. We have the shortest wait time in town and a professional staff to assist you. Moore's Pharmacy, Highway 16, Carthage.
Hunting season is here, and Leake County Co-op has everything you need to get ready. From ammunition to deer attractants, premium deer feed, and the seed to plant your perfect food plot, they've got you covered. And cattlemen, don't forget, it's almost time to plant ryegrass and winter wheat for winter grazing. Lock in the best pricing by prepaying for your ryegrass seed before October 15th. So whether you're headed to the woods or the pasture, come see us at Leake County Co-op, where neighbors help neighbors since 1936.
Ready for your next ride? Triple M Motors has been serving you for 54 years, offering unbeatable prices and an impressive selection to match every lifestyle. With easy financing options and top-notch service long after you drive away, your car buying experience is hassle-free from start to finish. Trust the name that's been in your corner for over 5 decades. Stop by Triple M Motors today and see why our customers keep coming back, generation after generation. Triple M Motors, Highway 35, Carthage.
Philadelphia Gun and Pine, the original since 1974.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn reminds you, size matters.
Which is why they have the largest collection of firearms your eyes have ever seen.
They carry a huge selection of Liberty and Browning safes in stock, and delivery is available.
Save 25% off select used firearms while you can.
Always giving you more bang for your buck.
Visit Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, 910 Posey Avenue in Philadelphia.
The original Philadelphia Gun and Pine.
If you love sports, get in the game by getting In Sports. In Sports, just off the square in Philadelphia, puts you in the game with personalized jerseys and fan wear to support your favorite team. In Sports has the cheer uniforms you're looking for, as well as plaques and trophies. Looking for sports equipment? In Sports has that too. In Sports also believes in giving the best possible customer service with in-town deliveries. Be the fan you've always wanted to be with In Sports, just off the square in Philadelphia.
Leake Academy, Simpson Academy will be kicking off at 7 o'clock, and we're in the middle of the Crossgate Jewelers pregame talking to Leake Academy head football coach Brian Pickens. And, Coach, before we let you go, I'd like you to talk about this group of men who work with you and these young men, and tell us about the coaching staff here at Leake.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to say that I'm very fortunate and blessed to have the group I have. As everybody knows, I'm the head of school at Leake and head football coach. And this group, actually makes that possible. They do a great job of keeping things organized and running, and especially during the summer times when things need to be done at the school in preparation for the school year starting, and you've got the weightlifting and things like that. They do a great job of keeping our players going and organized and where they need to be and what they need to be doing. So I do want to say that they make all this right here possible, and they know they deserve a lot of credit for that. But our defensive coordinator is Josh Ray. You said this is going into my 24th year. Well, Josh Ray and me have been working together for 24 years. So that's a long time, a long time to work with somebody, and bless his soul, he's had to deal with me for 24 years, but he does a great job with our defense, and he also coaches the offensive line, which people say defensive coordinator, that's a important position, but I'm gonna tell you something, the offensive line is very crucial. And he does a super job with them because that's a special group. Whenever you break into the spotlight in the offensive line, you have to me a little bit more time, because I can talk forever about that, because that used to be what I did. I worked the offensive line, and because of some of the roles and responsibilities I've had to take on, I let him do it. And I always say your most fundamental coach has to coach those guys, and he does a super job, because look, you're not going to be able to pass football if you can't protect. You can't run the ball if you can't run block. And so like I said, he does a great job with that group. And then Corey Burns, our offensive coordinator, and Corey I've been with Corey forever. Corey actually played for me back in 03 and 04. Corey was our quarterback, and then he went off to college, and then he came back. Actually helped me one year in 2010 when we went to the state championship in 2010, and then he left again and finished up school and actually worked some different places, and then he came back in 2014. So Corey's been full-time assistant at Leake for past 11 years, and he does a super job. And Corey's my organizer. Corey, I laugh. He's not just offensive coordinator. He's head of football operations. He's the one that makes sure our kids have their clothes, make sure they have their uniforms, make sure I have paperwork done. So Corey does a super job with that. And so, like I said, we've kind of been a tight-knit group, been together so long. And then we have Charles Schaefer. Charles Schaefer, he's our DB's coach, and he came over from Lamar back in 2023. That was his first year with us, was 2023, and it seemed like he's been there for 15 years himself. He came in and really just fit in with us, and he does a great job. Kids love him. He works great with the kids, and he gives a lot of experience. I don't know how many coaching years experience he has, but he brings that to the table. And I think a lot of times when you get somebody that's got a lot of years experience, they enjoy. I always say this: the longer you coach, the more you actually just really enjoy the young men that you coach. You see it's more of like raising them, than just coaching them. And so, like I said, the kids have a lot of fun when he's out there with them, and he works them hard, and they enjoy that work. And so that says a lot about somebody come out there and work a group of kids. Like I said, they do some I'll see them out there doing all kinds of drills that do not look fun, but the kids seem like they're just having the blast over it with him. So, like I said, he does a great job with them. And then Turk Stovall, our baseball coach, he decided he'd like to come out there. He actually helped us last 2 years in the booth. And this year we kind of talked him up, and he's out there working with our DB. He works with our safeties. Coach Schaefer works down linebackers and cornerback quarterback's kind of runs fit with the secondary, and Coach Stovall comes out there and he works a lot of times with the safeties and gives them some one-on-one stuff. And he's still, like I said, he's our, as I call him, he's the eye in the sky. And he does a super job with the baseball team, and I think he brings that energy that he brought in baseball. Like I said, we've had some great baseball seasons. He brings that energy and that competitive spirit to football. He's one of them guys. You get him coaching the chess team, and he's out there to win. He's not one to go out there and just be mediocre. So he brings that energy, and I think Coach Stovall got there about same time, about 2023, and he's just, like I said, he's another one. I mean, he may have been there for 3 years, but it seems like he's been there for 10. He's just, like I said, the big thing is just one of us. And then we got Robbie Robertson. He coaches a lot of our junior high guys, but what he does, and we sometimes call him the most valuable guy. He does a great job with our technology stuff, our filming, things like that. And a lot of times you won't see him on the sidelines, but if you're looking at end zone, you'll see him. He's got his big table set up, and he's the one who does our drone for us and our sideline operations. And I could talk about that for an hour of how football's changed. I mean, if you want to really have a long conversation, you talk to me about that coach that walked in 24 years ago to Leake Academy versus the coach now. Back then, you didn't know what was going on except what you saw on the field. Nowadays, with the technology, we've got TVs on the sideline. I mean, we're seeing a play that happened then the next right afterwards. And our halftime is more like a Monday morning film session than a halftime used to be, and that's a big contribution to Coach Robertson. I mean, he, like I said, he gets all that set up. I have no idea what they do. Him and Coach Burns get some discussion on the headphones about something about game strat, and I have no idea what they're talking about. But all I know is when I need to see a play from the last snap, it's there, ready to go. So he does a super job with that. And then we've got Stacey Harris, who's been a long time volunteer. He comes out there and helps us, and he's just there to kind of lend a hand, and he's always been a big help to us. But as far as the staff goes, it is super. It's more like family. When we come up there on Sundays, a lot of people discuss how long we're up there. We get there probably about 1:30 on Sunday, and sometimes we stay till it's dark. Or till we get done, or we feel like we've got our game plan where we need to be. But people think, my gosh, you guys are up there all day Sunday, but it's like being with you. It's like being with family. We come up there, we have fun, we get a lot of work done, but we have fun. And like I said, just a close-knit group, and I think that's where it starts. When you talk about team chemistry and you talk about success in football and things like that, this is a group that is very tight-knit and can joke with each other, can work well together, can sometimes criticize each other. A lot of times on the coach's sideline, it's not always just for a lot of nice, compliments going on out there. But y'all know it's for it's leading to a goal. It's leading to the success of your team. And like I said, you couldn't ask for a better group. And then I also like to mention Phil Shepard, longtime coach at Leake Academy. Coach Shepard, he doesn't coach our high school, but he coaches our junior high. And here's a man that just has a love for Leake Academy, and you can see it when he's out there with those young men in junior high coaching them. He's got a lot of pride in the school, and like I said, you can see that carry over to the field. But like I said, he may not be out there on Friday nights, but he's down there with our junior high, during the week.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach. And on behalf of all the parents, former players, everybody who loves Rebel football, I'm going to say thanks to you. Thanks to all those coaches for the time they pour into these young men's lives and the influence that they have that goes far beyond what happens on a Friday night.
That's right. Thank you.
But one more thing, I bet it wouldn't surprise you that while we were having this conversation, as you talk about Coach Burns staying on top of things from an operational standpoint, during our conversation, I got an email from Coach Burns about some information
That's right. Well, I do want to say before we get off, we're up here in this big press box, and we're very proud of it. It's something that's been needed for years. We got a point we couldn't see and everything. We got the new stadium, and so we got this press box now. Y'all got your own room. I mean, y'all can't ask for much more. So, like I said, we're excited about everything we've got going on this year. Not just the team, but some of our facilities.
Yep, and so I'll say thank you, and this won't be the first time or the last time that I say thank you for those upgraded digs up there for us in the press box. Well, Coach, we'll let you go, and again, good luck tonight against Simpson.
All right, thank you.
All right, y'all stay with us. Kickoff's coming up soon, so more of the Crossgate Jewelers pregame when we return.
When it comes to finding the perfect home, experience matters. Lee Realty is connecting buyers with quality new construction homes tailored to their needs. Hey, it's Stacey O'Neill with Lee Realty. Whether you're starting fresh or upgrading, our team will guide you every step of the way, making the process simple, smooth, and stress-free. Ready to get started? Give us a call today.
We don't want everyone's business, just yours. Lee Realty, 206 West 5th Street, Philadelphia, 601-562-7123.
If spending days looking for top dollar for your timber has left you feeling like you're barking up the wrong tree, then I would listen closely. Welch Forest Products in Union does it better than anyone, and with the least possible damage to your property. Whether it's management, forestry care, pine plantation, thinning, or site prep, the last number you'll dial is 601-774-8200. They buy land with or without timber too. Call Bo Welch now at Welch Forest Products today. 601-774-8200.
Life is full of surprises, but with the right insurance, you can be prepared for whatever comes your way.
At South Group Insurance, they offer tailored insurance solutions for your home, auto, business, and farm. Whether it's protecting your family or securing your future, they're always there to help.
South Group Insurance agents are local, experienced, and ready to help provide personalized service that's right for you.
South Group Insurance, just off the Court Square in Carthage.
Dr. Brooke Bobo and his staff at Carthage Veterinary Clinic wish you and your animals the very best. They treat all animals, large or small, with the care you would want for a member of your family. Carthage Veterinary Clinic provide for your sick or injured animals and also offer grooming and boarding as well. Located on Highway 16, Carthage Veterinary Clinic is open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 7:30 until 5:30, and Wednesday and Saturday from 7:30 till noon.
Thanks to Rosebud General Store, I can get all I need to work the farm right here at home.
Because they go hand in hand with what you use. Spreaders, hay bale rings, cattle catch pens, head gates, and fencing supplies. And let's not forget a great clothing department with boots and shoes to clothe the whole family.
Plus feed and medicine for all our animals, and even a deli to feed us farmers at lunch. That's my faithful friends at Rosebud General Store, Highway 487 East in Rosebud.
West Side Body Shop says, let's face it, stuff happens. And when it does, they can take care of damage as small as a chip in your windshield all the way up to full collision services. Insurance claims are always welcome too. Just be sure your first stop is West Side Body Shop in Philadelphia. They also specialize in truck accessories, including toolboxes, visors, Nerf bars, and winches. They make your ride look cool. West Side Body Shop, just off Beacon Street on Waterview Lane, right behind the Huddle House in Philadelphia.
Boswell Media Sports.
Crossgates Jewelers pregame continues from Thagard Field in Madden. Leake and Simpson getting ready to open the 2025 campaign. And remember, you can watch tonight's broadcast on the Triple M Motors video stream. There's a link available at kicks96news.com. We're powered by Central Electric Power Association. Billy Steen is our broadcast engineer. He's in Boswell Media Sports Studios. We've got a new camera operator with us, Mason Middleton, a name familiar to Leake Academy folks. He's an alum and a student now at East Central Community College. And I'm Philip Palmertree. I'm thankful to be with you for 5th season as voice of the Leake Academy Rebels. Let's dive right into the starting lineups. First, I'm going to tell you the captains are. They just came out. Alan Olivo, also John Wyatt King, Braden Johnson, and Carter Pigg representing the Rebels tonight. And you'll meet Cooper Sanders in just a minute. Coop's going to keep an eye on the coin toss for us when that comes. Simpson's captains have not come to the 50-yard line yet. But let's get into the starters presented by Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, the original. And we won't bury the lead. Some of you know, most folks know it, but I told Coach I'd announce it in the starting lineup portion of the Cross Gates Jewelers pregame earlier today. Major Chandler underwent ACL repair surgery on his knee, season ending for him. Got injured about a week ago, and he will not be available for football this year. We hate that, but Moo, if you and your family are listening, we wish you the best. We'll keep praying for you and hope you're back to 100% real soon. And you mean a lot to folks here on the 488. Let's get to the offense. Touching the ball first going to be senior Connor Moore at center, 5'10", 255. Flanking him, the guards, John Wyatt King on the left side, senior 6'1", 240. Right guard Tanner Walsworth, 6'3", 235, a junior. New players at tackle. John David Thomas getting his first career start, junior on the left side, 5'11", 220. And the right tackle's Lane Stewart, a junior, 6'3", 270. Caden Monk will have some tight end duties. Filling in that H-back spot going to be Riker Wells, sophomore, 6 tall, 195. The wide receivers, Easton Page, a junior, 6'2", 150. Caden Stovall, a junior at 6 tall, 140. Gage Warren, 6'2", 160, junior wide receiver. So a new wide receiver core for QB1. That's George Wilcox, 6'3", 230. And the running back getting the start tonight, junior Garrett Adcock. Garrett ran for, let's see, how many yards? I got to look for it in the right place. Over 1,300 yards, had nearly 1,500 all-purpose yards last year. On defense, nose guard Alan Olivo, senior, 5'9", 210. Dallin Dillard at defensive tackle, junior, 5'10", 275. Carter Pigg, let's see, Caden Monk will get some defensive end duties, as will Joey Saki, a junior, 5'11", 190. Now Carter Pigg, an outside linebacker, 5'8", 205. Middle linebacker is Kobe Kemp. He's a thumper in the middle, 6'1", 215, a senior. Jack Johnston drawing a start, first of his career as a junior, 5'11", 170, an outside linebacker. Cornerback Riles Wilkerson, sophomore, 5'10", 135. A lot of experience at the other corner. That's Joshua Gray, beginning his senior year, 6'2", 145. Free safety Will Garner, senior, 6 tall, 160. And the strong safety Braden Welch, senior, 6 tall, 180. Specialist, as Coach mentioned in the interview segment earlier, Wright Palokas, long snapper on punts. Tanner Walsworth on field goals and extra points. Caden Stovall handling the kicking duties, and Easton Page will be the holder. That's tonight's Philadelphia Gun and Pawn starting lineups for the Rebels in home navy with the gray football pants. Simpson in red helmets, white jerseys, red numbers, and red football pants. Hey, Rebel fans, once again, this year Rosebud General Store is honoring the late old ball coach Gilbert Barham by endowing the Gilbert Barham Color Commentator's Chair. And a new occupant of that distinguished chair is making his Leake Academy Sports debut tonight. He is Cooper Sanders from Nanawaya. He's got broadcast experience with East Mississippi Community College, soccer, basketball, baseball, helps with a football broadcast as well. And Coop, let me say to you, welcome to Leake Academy football.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited to be here. New experience. You know, last time I was here at this stadium, I was telling you just a second ago, I was a Pee-wee football player at Winston Academy in 6th grade. I didn't finish up at Winston, so can't hold that against me for the Rebel fans. But
and you said you had Coach Corey Burns as a PE teacher,
yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Corey Burns was one of my PE coaches in elementary. So when I got an email the other day with some huddle film, that was very interesting to see, and I got a kick out of that. But it's good to be here. Good to be back, and I'm excited to be with y'all this season.
And we've got a treat lined up for you, Coop, because there's a rival across the field. Simpson and Leake have a storied history and really get after each other. Not in the same class, as we said earlier, now, the different classifications, but you know this is going to be a good one. But a lot of new faces over there for Simpson this year.
Yeah, I was talking to Robbie Robertson before the game, and he was telling me how it's a completely different look this year for him, that he was able to watch them in a jamboree, but that they look completely different. That last year they were a little unpredictable. This year they didn't even exchange film before this game, so teams really don't know what to expect from either team tonight.
This could be one of those nights where you got to worry about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And what you do, and that will the best. I think we're going to see some things from Leake that we didn't see last year as well. We'll talk a little more in the time that's remaining about this matchup, but right now we've got to step aside in the Crossgates Jewelers pregame. We're getting close to the Moore's Pharmacy kickoff. We'll step aside, give you one more break, and be back with a kickoff as Leake Academy football continues.
When dealing with something as complex as taxes and payroll can be, you can turn to Weaver Tax and Accounting to make things easier. Their professional staff works diligently to make sure your business and personal returns are complete and finished in a timely manner. Weaver Tax and Accounting will also execute your bookkeeping and payroll, bringing you the best in tax services since 1979. Weaver Tax and Accounting, 20 South Street, Sebastopol, and 109 Chadwick Avenue in Walnut Grove.
Premier Medical Group, PMG. Your good health is our priority.
Premier Medical Group in Carthage is excited about the opening of their new clinic at 300 South Pearl Street, the end of August, and they welcome nurse practitioners Reagan Smith and Julie Harrington to their team. Schedule your appointment with any of their providers today.
Premier Medical Group, PMG. Good health is our priority.
Walk into the shimmering world of Crossgates Jewelers and Pearl, where every piece of fine jewelry will tell a story and represent the memories of your life. Their GIA graduate gemologist will show you their exquisite collection of engagement rings and bridal sets, answering any questions you may have when choosing the perfect diamond and setting. Their expert in-house repairs ensures your cherished items are in the best hands. Crossgate Jewelers, located at the corner of Cross Park and Highway 80 in Pearl. You are unique, and your jewelry should be too.
Dr. Ryan Anderson and his crew at Central Mississippi Animal Clinic love getting to know you and your pets. In addition to your pet's health care, they offer boarding that will be your fur baby's home away from home. Become a member of the Central Mississippi Animal Clinic family today. Download the Central Mississippi Animal Clinic app or go to centralmississippianimalclinic.com. Central Mississippi Animal Clinic, Highway 35, Carthage.
Hello, Rebel fans. It's time for Kickoff. Moore's Pharmacy welcomes you to an exciting night of Friday night football. Moore's Pharmacy takes great pride in supporting Leake Academy Rebels, the perfect place to start your weekend. Okay, Rebels, let's kick it off.
Boswell Media Sports.
Hope you're ready for kickoff. It is coming. Simpson leads the all-time series, 21 wins, 12 losses, but the Rebels have won 7 out of the last 8, including 2 meetings on this field last year. Let's see, did we get the coin toss results?
I could not hear it through the headset. It looks
right.
like he said Simpson will be receiving. That's what it sounded like. Could not.
Yep, that's what it's. Yeah, Simpson's going to be receiving. I see Caden Stovall heading out there with a tee over on the left side. 76 degrees at game time. Taking on some water on the field, but Coach Burns told me the field could use it. Not slippery. Should be a really nice playing surface tonight. Of course, natural grass here at Thagard Field, and that's presented by the Leake County Co-op. I hope you're ready to get things started as we're teeing it up.
Some perfect football weather tonight, 75 degrees, and it feels like 75. We have 3-mile-per-hour wind here in Madden, Mississippi. So it's about as good football weather as it gets right there.
No doubt about it. Rebels kicking left to right. Caden Stovall's got it teed up right in the middle of the 40-yard line, or as the late, great Jack Crystal would say, equidistant from the sideline stripes. 2 men back deep to receive for the Cougars. Deep kick taken at the 6. Coming up the middle, out to the right hash, 25, not quite to the 30 goes Colt Walker, a sophomore. And Kobe Kemp tripped him up before he could get to the 30. They'll mark him at the 29-yard line. That's where the Cougars will set up. They've got, well, again, we think we know who's going to play quarterback and who's going to play different positions. But as Coop said earlier, sort of a little mystery around this here. But looks like Braxton Baldwin lining up at quarterback, and that's already a little bit of surprise because they had Brady McKinney, a freshman, playing last year. Looks like he's in motion as a wide receiver, and they toss it to McKinney. Moving around the left side, flag in, and lost a yard. Joshua Gray and also Jack Johnston forced him down. Looks like the penalty will be against the Cougars, and Coach Brian Pickens says, we'll take that penalty.
Yeah, before the penalty, it was a really great block there by the Cougar offensive lineman, Ethan Durr. He kind of just pancaked Joey Saki there, got him on the ground, and created space for that running back to get around.
So marching back 10 yards, 1st and 20. 2 wide outs to each side. Rebels with a 4-man line. Baldwin takes a look at the defense. Now brings the slot receiver in motion. They'll hand it to him, getting around the corner, 25, 30, 35, getting the first down up to the 41-yard line. Big gain of 22 yards on the carry from Jacob Colson.
Yeah, he was making some moves there trying to get past Kobe Kemp, and if he would have got past him, he would have created a lot more space and picked up some big yardage, but Kemp able to make the big play and make the tackle.
That play took a while to develop, but he was very patient looking for the blocks, and that's a first down. Right hash 41-yard line. First quarter of tonight's game presented by Carthage Collision Center. Empty backfield, tight end, and 4 wide receivers. Quarterback's going to keep it and find blue shirts in front of him.
Yeah, the power read there for the quarterback, Braxton Baldwin, there was no right option there. You know, it was either your running back runs into a ton of Rebel defenders or you run into a ton of Rebel defenders.
So he ran into Jack Johnston. Gain of just 1 on the play, 2nd and 9. Now running back at the right hip of the quarterback, Baldwin. He'll drop back to pass. Has time. Floats it up deep. Wobbling pass. Incomplete at the 20-yard line, but there's going to be a flag, pass interference, as Brendan Evans was back there in coverage, but that ball held up, and he came over the back of the receiver.
Yeah, Evans wasn't looking for the football there. He was more trying to keep him from catching the ball and just didn't have his head up. If he would have looked up, that could have been an interception for Evans.
Pass interference against the Rebs. 15 yards will move the line of scrimmage into Leake territory. The opening 2 minutes of the ball game. 10:46 to go on the first quarter clock.
It's one of those things you have to capitalize on penalties if you're the Cougars. Rebels had an opportunity to capitalize early with the big, long first down early on.
And the Rebels come across 2 Rebel defenders on the defensive line, came across the line of scrimmage on a hard count, and that's a free 5 yards for Simpson.
And penalties early on, especially here in the first regular season game, that's going to be a thing. You know, you have to get back in the swing of things. I know the coaches are going to be frustrated about that, but guys getting back in the swing of things here and got to play discipline.
1st and 5. They throw a quick out pattern way too tall into the near sideline. Colt Walker, the intended receiver, but that ball was about 6 inches above his outstretched hands, incomplete. It looks like that was Evans in coverage for Leake.
Yeah, just a little overthrown there, a little too high, and throws it away. It'll be a 2nd and 5 now, it looks like.
From the Rebel 38, opening drive of the ball game, no score. Hand it off and breaking to the outside, getting enough for the first down and getting chucked hard into the sidelines is Jacob Colson. And Braden Welch was the one who put the hit on him, but not before he picks up the first down inside the 30. Looks like it's marked at the 28. So give a fresh set of downs to Simpson.
One thing the Cougars are doing very well right now is blocking. Besides that one play on the power read, they've been excellent in the trenches so far.
Simpson's got a big offensive front. You can see from our vantage point in this lovely brand new press box. And it's a size advantage up front. Rebels going to try to use quickness and agility to their advantage tonight. Handoff goes straight ahead, breaking through one tackle and getting a nice gain up the middle is Colson again down to the 21. It's a gain of 7 on first down. And Braden Welch gets credit for taking his legs out from under him. Simpson not in a hurry. Offense kind of back in a huddle. Looks to the sideline. You don't have many huddles these days.
Yeah, love to go with the tempo offense. You see teams doing that more and more each year.
3 wide out set. Baldwin throwing toward the end zone. In the back corner. Pass caught over the shoulder by Colt Walker over 2 Rebel defenders. Great concentration and keeping feet in bounds for the touchdown on the opening drive for Simpson.
Yeah, what an excellent toss there by Baldwin. He just placed it perfectly, put it where nobody except his receiver could go up and get it, and receiver able to get his feet down perfectly for the touchdown. What an opening drive for the Cougars. Rebels going to have to bounce back.
21 yards on the pass from Baldwin to Walker. And as frequently happens, saw this in junior college last night, extra points, special teams, there always seems to be 10 guys, and then there's one guy running on at the end. But they've got plenty of time on the play clock. They'll run a sort of swinging gate formation in to now kick the extra point. High snap, ball is put down. It's sailing over to the right and no good. Missed by Hayes Algie. 6-0 our score. 9:31 to go in the opening quarter. We'll be back with the Simpson kickoff as Leake Academy football continues.
Philadelphia Gun and Pine, the original since 1974.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn reminds you, size matters.
Which is why they have the largest collection of firearms your eyes have ever seen.
They carry a huge selection of Liberty and Browning safes in stock, and delivery is available.
Save 25% off select used firearms while you can.
Always giving you more bang for your buck.
Visit Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, 910 Posey Avenue in Philadelphia.
The original Philadelphia Gun and Pine.
Build your barn with Ozark Ag from the ground up. Expanding your poultry operation is simple and fast when you turn to the poultry pros that you'll find at Ozark Ag. They're your go-to partner for poultry barn construction. So let's check that checklist, shall we? Full service design and build? Check. Equipment installation? Check. And service that lasts long after the barn is finished? Check. And by the way, this just in, check. Build strong together. Call or go by to get started. Ozark Ag, Highway 16, Carthage.
Boswell Media Sports.
Caden Stovall takes a short kick at the 25, works across the field to the far sideline. Flag down back at the 35, but he's pushed out of bounds short of midfield.
Yeah, it looks like there might have been a little bit of a hold or block in the back over there right near the 40-yard line, but the pooch kick from the kicker to start the season, his first kick of the year, and sends it over to Stovall.
So Simpson gets an impressive scoring drive on their opening possession. Rebels helped it with some penalties, but you got to credit the quarterback and receiver, Baldwin and Walker, on that 21-yard connection. So the penalty moves the Rebels line of scrimmage back to the 28. Garrett Adcock at the right hip of George Wilcox. 2 wide receivers on each side of the line. Throw to the out man on the right side. That's Easton Page. He breaks away from a defender, 40, into Simpson territory and tackled at the 44-yard line. 28 yards on the completion.
Yeah, what a play that was by Page to turn around and get away from the defender. It looks like he lost his footing there trying to outrun those defenders on the sideline and fall short.
Central Mississippi Animal Clinic first down. 6-0 Simpson. First quarter, time for Wilcox. He's going to fire it deep toward the end zone, and it's intercepted right at the goal line. Falling back into the end zone is Colt Walker with the interception, and that'll be a touchback. It's got a little greedy there. They had good coverage, they being Simpson, and they'll take over.
Yeah, not what you wanted there on the opening drive. You know, a deep ball, a beautifully thrown ball, but Walker just right there to go and get it and get the interception.
Rebel defense will have to head back out there. 8:59 to go in the first quarter. First quarter presented by Carthage Collision Center. Three wide receiver set, and H-back to the right. Handoff going nowhere. Tackle for loss. Colson stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Will lose 3 yards back to the 17.
Yeah, the Leake defense able to get there around the edge fast. It looks like first one there was Caden Monk. Able to be the first hit, but it took a...
Yeah, Monk and Johnston combined on the stop. 2nd and 13 for Simpson. 2 wide receivers to the left. That's a wide side of the field. Rebels shift there, D-line around. 4-man front, hard count from Baldwin. Now he'll stare into the sideline. Under 10 on the play clock. Handed off, and Joey Saki wraps up Colson. Help arrives, and they shove him back 2 more yards back inside the 15. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, they tried the counter run play there, but Jack Johnston right there to make the read. Just not enough time to get around for Colson. But a great play by the Rebel defense.
They'll put 4 wide outs into the formation now. Rebels with a 4-3 defensive front. Baldwin looks left, throws it short to the right to Walker, and Braden Welch tackles him right there at the 20, has to kind of wrangle him down, gets a couple of more yards past the original line of scrimmage. Ball set at the 22, so they pick up 7 on the play, but that leaves them far short of what they need for a first down. That will bring out the punt unit.
Yeah, Welch with a strong play there defensively to make the stop and not let Walker break away and get anywhere. And a good stop there for the Leake defense. Now they're going to have to turn that into offense, get a second chance with the ball.
Caden Stovall and Gage Warren back to receive the punt. Jack Ashmore kicks a line drive, hits at the 35, and Stovall will let it go. Takes a really nice roll for the Cougars down close to the 30. So they get 48 yards on that punt. And Leake will take their second possession now with 6:48 to go in the Carthage Collision Center first quarter. It's Simpson 6, Rebels nothing. We want to remind you that Premier Medical of Carthage is the official wellness sponsor of Leake Academy Sports. They're open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30. Premier Medical Carthage, 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line, we'll call it. Four wide receiver set. Wilcox got little contact as he threw it out to the wide side of the field, incomplete, intended for Page outside the numbers right side, but that pass was not where Wilcox wanted it to be, incomplete.
Yeah, Page had to take a few steps back for that one from where he was, and it just caught him off guard a little bit, could not bring in the catch.
Rebels will reset it, put one receiver, Warren, out to the left. 3 to the right side of the field. Garrett Adcock in the backfield with QB1. Wilcox looks over the middle, now out to the right as a man open, complete to Stovall at the 45, across the 50 into the Simpson 45 before he gets put down on the near sideline by Colt Walker, and that's a big gain. That's a Central Mississippi Animal Clinic first down to the 43.
Yeah, great route there by Stovall, and then able to get to the outside on that outside corner route, and a good play.
Yeah, they had receivers at 3 different levels. And there's a hard count. The defensive end for Simpson jumped offside. Garrison Warren couldn't keep himself from coming across the neutral zone. 5 yards given up to the Rebels, 1st and 5.
And now just like the Cougars were able to capitalize off the Rebels penalties, the Rebels now need to capitalize in the same way, just the Cougars did on their first opening drive.
6:25 to go in the first quarter. Simpson leading 6-0. Second time the Rebels have been in enemy territory. 2-by-2 set. Wilcox with protection. Throws complete at the 15. Stovall breaks a tackle. 10. Gets hit. Fumbles inside the 5, and it's picked up by Simpson. Returning it the other way. Short of the 5 was 24 Hayes Algie, and he got leveled by Tanner Walsworth trying to come up the field, but the Rebels turn it over inside the 5 and give it up once more on a turnover.
Yeah, it was a great catch there by Stovall. Stovall was already off balance trying to make his way to the end zone and just lost the football on the way right there inside the 5, and not an ideal situation for the Rebels as they've already turned it over for the second time this game.
Simpson takes over at their own 4, the shadows of their own goalpost down at the south end. Over to our right. Tonight's video stream presented by Triple M Motors. Glad you joined us on the Boswell Media Sports YouTube channel. Click the subscribe box and you'll get notified every time we come on the air with Leake Academy football this year. Simpson huddles up right at the goal line. They'll line up in a pistol set for the first time and stack 2 receivers on each side of the formation. Hand it off, gain of about 3 for the Rebels. Joey Saki grabs Colson and pushes him back. We'll give him just 2 to the 6-yard line, so 2nd and 8. Looks like we're going to have the heat timeout. Not too hot, but we'll take the timeout anyway. Middle of the first quarter, Leake trails 6-0.
My knee rehab was 100% successful thanks to Performance Therapy. They sat down with me and created a plan to ensure I would achieve my personal rehabilitation goals, and they encouraged me to get the most out of every session. Performance Therapy provided plenty of material for me to continue my rehab in between sessions too. Hopefully I don't have to see them in the future, but if I did, I would definitely choose Performance Therapy again.
For more information, go to performancetherapyms.com. Performance Therapy, Carthage, Philadelphia, and Forest.
Moore's Pharmacy in Carthage, Sebastopol, and Walnut Grove appreciate you, their customers. We have a beautiful selection of gifts with free gift wrapping. We are one of the only pharmacies around to offer compounding and women's hormone replacement therapy. Moore's Pharmacy accepts all insurance, including Medicaid. Our 2-lane drive-thru and prescription synchronization will make your visit very convenient. Come see us. We have the shortest wait time in town and a professional staff to assist you. Moore's Pharmacy, Highway 16, Carthage.
Boswell Media Sports.
2nd and 8 for Simpson. Playing the shadow of their own goalpost at the 6, under the lights at Thagard Field. Quarterback chased around in the end zone. He tries to just heave it forward. Talon Dillard nearly intercepted it at the 1-yard line. But it's going to be an incomplete pass. Looking for maybe an intentional grounding call, but there must have been an eligible receiver close by.
First touchdown of the season for the Rebels was almost a big boy touchdown.
Lineman's dream for Dillard almost fulfilled right there. He had it in his mitts for about half a second, juggled it, and then it got away from him. 3rd and 8.
A good spot for the Rebels. You have the Cougars right where you want them. It's got to be big on defense.
Hard count. Baldwin claps twice, then looks into his own sideline. Just 4 on the play clock. And small town Lee Realty timeout for Simpson. They'll take it, and we'll take it with them with 5:48 to play in the first quarter. Leake down 6-0.
Did you know most people overpay by up to 50% for individual health insurance? David Barham Insurance will save you that. Plus, David has the best rates on the market for Medicare supplement. The solution is not on the internet or far away. It's right here in Carthage. David Barham, a local insurance agent you can trust. Make sure you have the best coverage and price. Call David Barham, 601-941-1280 on the north side of the square in Carthage.
When memories matter most, trust Wilcox Funeral Home to honor your loved one's legacy with compassion and dignity. Our caring team walks with you every step of the way, providing comfort and support during life's most difficult moments. From personalized services to attentive planning, Wilcox Funeral Home is your partner in remembrance and healing. Celebrate a life well lived, because every story deserves to be told, cherished, and never forgotten. Wilcox Funeral Home, our family, serving your family for 90 years now. Jordan Street, Carthage.
Boswell Media Sports.
Coming out of the Lee Realty timeout, Simpson faces 3rd and 8 at their own 6. Big possession play in this ball game. The Cougars lead at 6-0. Play action, throw, hit as he throws. Nice ball up the field, but too deep. Just a straight out go pattern to Colt Walker at the 40. Rebels had Brennan Evans in coverage, but that'll bring up a punt.
Man, Kobe Kemp with incredible pressure there. And it was about a second away from being a roughing the passer call. He got there just early enough.
Hit Baldwin right in his chest. And I know that does not feel good. Standing back 9 yards deep in the end zone is Ashmore. Rebels have Stovall and Warren just inside the 50. Gets it away cleanly. Nice kick. Gets a little turnover. Fair catch made at the 46-yard line. They may say the 45. So the Rebels get a nice turn on the field possession, and they'll take over in Simpson territory with 5:34 to play. Trailing 6-0. And, hey, we want to tell you to play Kicks Picks, Boswell Media Sports weekly football pick'em contest. You can find it at Kicks96news.com. If you get the most right, you're the weekly winner, and you take home a gift certificate from the Junction in Carthage, the official Football Friday food stop. And if you're the cumulative winner through the season, you get a Traeger Ironwood 650 pellet grill from Ozark Ag in Carthage, and it's free to play Kicks Picks. On the 45-yard line. 1-by-3, receivers split. Plenty of time for Wilcox. Throws up the right hash. Has Stovall at the 20-yard line. He's tackled immediately, but, boy, he got in some space. And they get 26 yards on the completion for Central Mississippi Animal Clinic first down. Oh, but there's a flag back at the point where Wilcox threw the ball. Looks like it's maybe a roughing the passer, Coop.
Yeah, it looked like there was a defender that came in there a little late. But Leake is heading back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe it was a holding.
Maybe it was a hold. And it was back at about the 50 where the ball was launched. Yeah, they're going to walk it back against the Rebels, and it is indeed a holding penalty. So wipe out that big gain. Instead, walk it back into Rebel territory at the 45, and we'll play 1st and 20.
Yeah, those penalties, they're gonna kick you week 1, and it's been kicking the Rebels in quite some ways tonight. They're just going to have to bounce back, play disciplined, and get after it.
One receiver, Warren out to the left, 3 to the right. Hand off to Adcock. He's got a seam up the middle into Simpson territory, and he's grabbed around the knees, tackled as he stretches out toward the 48-yard line, gets 7 yards, makes it 2nd and 13.
Yeah, that was the first run play of the game for the Rebels. Adcock able to pick up some big yards.
Paxton Dale made the tackle for the Cougars. Wilcox looks into the sideline of offensive coordinator Corey Burns. Gives some instructions to Garrett Adcock, and we've got a flag before the snap.
Yeah, it looks like it was going to be a false start. Looks like there was a little bit of movement for the Rebels up front.
Seeing just too many yellow flags in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want, but I feel like I'm repeating myself here. You just have to play discipline and bounce back from it.
2nd and 18 now. L.A. has it at their own 47. Ball right near the L.A. logo painted at midfield. 2-by-2 set. Wilcox to throw, has pressure. He's going to roll out. Now he's going to take off and run. Defender hits him at the 50 as he tries to turn the corner, and he'll get up to the 48, get basically that penalty yardage back, and leaves the Rebs with 3rd and 13.
Yeah, but that would have be a little mobile there, pick up some yards. That's what you need in a quarterback. But looks like here on 3rd and long, he's going to have to be a quarterback and use his arm here.
Simpson leading Leake 6-0. Cougars scored on their opening possession, marched 71 yards. Rebels have turned it over twice deep in Simpson territory. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Looking to the left, wide side, ball in the air. Pass caught right near the sticks along the 35. Nice job going up for it and bringing it in by Wright Palokas with his first catch of the night. Looks like he's right on the line, waiting for the indication from the officials.
Yeah, great vision there from Wilcox, and just what a leap it was for Palokas to go up and grab it. You know, he had to leap up for that one and made a very athletic grab to make the play for a first down.
Central Mississippi Animal Clinic first down. They had to look down the line, but didn't need to bring out the sticks to measure it. And Coop, I got to say, with this the 3rd year of QB1 playing the ball, well, I'll tell you this in just a second. He throws it out quickly to Palokas at the 30, gets hit immediately as he turns up along the numbers right side, gets 7 yards. 2nd and 3 coming up. What I was going to say, Coop, that throw on that out pattern to the far boundary wide side of the field, not a lot of high school kids can make that, but we're spoiled over here seeing George Wilcox with that kind of arm the last couple of years during his career.
Oh, yeah, I covered him in the 10th grade All-Star game at East Central a few years ago, and I was very impressed with the throws he can make.
2nd and 3, they fake the pass. Wilcox takes off, gets tripped up across the 15-yard line, gets the first down, goes from the 28 down to the 12, a gain of 16. Central Mississippi Animal Clinic first down, and the Rebels take a trip into the Performance Therapy red zone.
Yeah, Wilcox with already 120 total yards of offense, 102 yards passing, now up to 20 yards rushing on just 2 carries.
Adcock takes the handoff, left side, so tries to sidestep, but runs into a couple of defenders, and Cannon McAlpin drops him after a gain of just 1 at the 11-yard line. And those stat updates that our partners providing are presented by Wilcox Funeral Home. 2nd and 9 from the 11. Ball right in the, a little bit toward the right hash. Plenty of time on the play clock. 3 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Adcock takes the handoff, has some space, gets down inside the 5, lowers his shoulder and bangs down to the 4. Rebels will have 3rd and short after a gain of 5 there from Adcock.
Yeah, Adcock, I watched a little bit of film on the Rebels leading up to this week in both the Jamboree and some practices. I noticed that he has a real knack for navigating his way through the offensive line and the holes that they create and making his way through the linebackers as well, but stopped by the...
There's Adcock straight ahead, and he goes across the painted line. That's 6 for the Rebels. 4-yard touchdown run for the junior Garrett Adcock. It's 6-6 with an extra point coming up. Rebel touchdowns presented by Weaver Tax and Accounting.
It was 4 straight run plays to end that drive for the Rebels, and like I said, he's able to navigate his way through the offensive line, get past the linebackers at times, and that was able to help him to get into the end zone for 6 for the Rebels.
First extra point attempt, the career of Caden Stovall out of the hold of Easton Page. Snap is down, kick up and away, and it's no good. Missed it off to the side. 6-6 our score with 1 minute 46 seconds to go in the first quarter. We'll be back with the Moore's Pharmacy kickoff here on Boswell Media Sports.
Dr. Brooke Bobo and his staff at Carthage Veterinary Clinic wish you and your animals the very best. They treat all animals, large or small, with the care you would want for a member of your family. Carthage Veterinary Clinic provide for your sick or injured animals and also offer grooming and boarding as well. Located on Highway 16, Carthage Veterinary Clinic is open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 7:30 until 5:30, and Wednesday and Saturday from 7:30 till noon.
For 87 years, we've been your biggest fans. Rest assured, while you are cheering on your favorite team this season, Central Electric's team is working around the clock to provide reliable service year-round. Whether building power lines in extreme weather conditions or restoring power on a stormy night, Central Electric employees take your electric service seriously. We will be there to keep the game on. So enjoy this football season and take comfort in our team's reliable service all year long. It's our commitment to you, serving you since 1937. This institution is an equal opportunity.
On the kickoff return across the 20, coming near side toward the sidelines, and then getting stood up and pushed back, Brady McKinney for Simpson. 6-6 the score, but the Rebels finally, Coop, able to get it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, it was a great drive. You know, it was 4 straight run plays, like I said, to end the drive. The Rebels used the pass plays to get down the field and then finish it off with a run, and a good showing there by Adcock to get in the end zone.
Yeah, he had good blocks from that experienced interior of the line. Connor Moore, John Wyatt King, and Tanner Walsworth paving the way for Wilcox. And that drive summary presented by Wilcox Funeral Home. 1st and 10 from the 23. Handoff and nowhere to go for Colson. Talon Dillard, Alan Olivo, and Joey Saki wrapped him up. 3 guys off that D-line stop him for a gain of just about a yard.
It was hard to see what was going on there. Have a light pole right exactly where the tackle happened. I just saw blue jerseys make a good stop on a guy in a white jersey.
Coming down the final seconds of the Carthage Collision Center first quarter. 6-6 our score.
Rebel defense playing a lot more discipline than they did on those first 2 drives. And they've really stepped up and gotten into the swing of things of this season. You know, the first quarter of the first game.
Get some of those
nerves
jitters and nerves taken care of. 2nd and 9, looking to throw. Ball tipped around, intercepted at the 31-yard line. Going to the ground to get it for Leake was Will Garner, the free safety. And so there's a late first quarter turnover, and the Rebels are set up with a short field at the 31.
Jack Johnston celebrating for 2 reasons. 1, his team got the ball back. 2, he doesn't have to feel bad that they didn't get the ball back with his missed interception there. There's a reason you do the tip drill in practice, and there's a reason you do it twice also.
Yep, credit Johnston with the tip, the breakup, and then alert ball hawking skills from Will Garner for his first career Rebel interception. 31-yard line. Rebels have it on the left hash. 41 seconds to go in the opening period. A 4-wide receiver set. Quick throw to the slot man. That's, guess who, number 3, Caden Stovall going up the right hash. Takes a hit, goes down, gets about 9 on the play down to the 21. In fact, no, they'll say he's got 10. Or no, they're kind of just – man in the white hats, I think he was motioning first down. That's a 10-yard gain and another Central Mississippi Animal Clinic first down. Tell you, these Simpson defensive backs are really having to hustle. George Wilcox doing a great job of getting rid of the ball. John David Gill in at running back. 2-by-2 set. Gill takes the handoff. Ball on the ground, though, and Gill's able to hop on top of it. Will lose yardage back to about the 23, and that'll be the final play of the first quarter, so we'll step aside with the score. Leake 6, Simpson 6. Don't go anywhere as Leake Academy football rolls on.
Dr. Ryan Anderson and his crew at Central Mississippi Animal Clinic love getting to know you and your pets. In addition to your pet's health care, they offer boarding that will be your fur baby's home away from home. Become a member of the Central Mississippi Animal Clinic family today. Download the Central Mississippi Animal Clinic app or go to centralmississippianimalclinic.com. Central Mississippi Animal Clinic, Highway 35, Carthage.
Ready for your next ride? Triple M Motors has been serving you for 54 years. offering unbeatable prices and an impressive selection to match every lifestyle. With easy financing options and top-notch service long after you drive away, your car buying experience is hassle-free from start to finish. Trust the name that's been in your corner for over 5 decades. Stop by Triple M Motors today and see why our customers keep coming back, generation after generation. Triple M Motors, Highway 35, Carthage.
Boswell Media Sports.
Philip Palmertree and Cooper Sanders, Mason Middleton on the action camera, Billy Steen in the studio, bringing you week 1 of Leake Academy football from Madden. Tied at 6 after 1 period, Leake and arch rival Simpson. Other action in MAIS District 2 and 3A. Tri-County hosts St. Aloysius this evening. Central Heights is at Shaw. And Riverfield over at River Oaks School. That 2 Louisiana schools playing each other. Next week's opponent for the Rebels, JA, playing at Oak Forest. So they cross the state lines tonight. Rebels have 2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line, moving now right to left. Adcock takes the handoff, gets hit right away, and is able to drive his legs forward back close to the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it 3rd and 10, though it's just 10 plus.
Yeah, it looked like the senior Jack Lee for the Cougars was just able to get through the Rebel offensive line and make a big stop there.
And flag comes in.
Yeah, there was a little bit of movement there for number 18, that was Thomas Jones, the junior for the Cougars, and he realized it immediately because he just walked right back to where the linebackers were and was shaking his head.
You have to be happy with 3rd and 10 becoming 3rd and 5. Rebels need to get down to the 11 to move the sticks. Of course, they are in the performance therapy red zone. 3 wide receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. QB1 looking to throw, looking left side now going to break toward open space. Going to get a couple, but won't get enough for the first down. He gets just inside the 15. It'll be 3rd and 4. He picks up just only about a yard on that scramble.
Yeah, it looks like he had space. Someone was just able to grab his leg and pull him down. And if he'd had just a few yards on him, he could have had a trip to the end zone there, but just not enough space for Wilcox.
Looks like call for the field goal unit to come out. It's going to be an attempt of 32 yards from the right hash. Play clock winding under 8. So either they're going to have, and Coach Pickens and Coach Burns all motion for a Lee Realty timeout. We'll keep it right here. Rebels use their first timeout early second quarter. Second quarter presented by Products. Some other games going on in MAIS action, particularly opponents on League schedule. East Rankin is at Canton. Indianola at Winona Christian. We'll see them here. The Stars from Winona Christian will be here in 2 weeks at home. Heritage at Winston. Bowling Green at Silliman. And Oak Hill plays an MHSAA opponent. They are at French Camp tonight. MHSAA action, Kosciuszko at Neshoba Central. Morton's at Newton County. Scott Central at Northeast Lauderdale. Philadelphia at Union. Leake County at Leake Central. Jefferson Davis County playing at MRA, and Jackson Prep is at Park Lane. That looks like an interesting game. We'll try to get some scores on that. Here's a 32-yard field goal attempt from the right hash by Caden Stovall. Kick is up. High kick sailing toward the uprights, and it's good. 32-yard field goal puts Leake ahead. 9-6. We'll be back with the Moore's Pharmacy kickoff as Leake Academy football continues.
Premier Medical Group, PMG. Your good health is our priority.
Premier Rehab is opening a new facility in Carthage next to Piggly Wiggly. They welcome occupational therapist and physical therapist Dee Cockroft to their Carthage location. For occupational and physical therapy, choose Premier Rehab in Kosciuszko and Carthage.
Premier Medical Group, PMG. Good health is our priority.
Walk into the shimmering world of Cross Gates Jewelers and Pearl, where every piece of fine jewelry will tell a story and represent the memories of your life. Their GIA graduate gemologist will show you their exquisite collection of engagement rings and bridal sets, answering any questions you may have when choosing the perfect diamond and setting. Their expert in-house repairs ensures your cherished items are in the best hands. Crossgate Jewelers, located at the corner of Cross Park and Highway 80 in Pearl. You are unique, and your jewelry should be too.
Boswell Media Sports.
After the Rebel field goal, Caden Stovall comes forward on the football, swings that right leg, and line drives it. Hits at the 15, picked up along the right hash. Coming up that hash, out toward the middle of the field is Colt Walker. Surrounded by blue shirts, but he gets a nice return across the 35 up to about the 36, 37-yard line. Leake has taken the lead 9-6 after getting the INT, Coop.
Yeah, the Rebels were able to bounce back there and take their first lead of the game, and they just have to keep it there. Good coverage there on the kickoff defense. He didn't make the tackle, but Braden Welch able to get there through the hole, cause the return man to spin to the outside right into a pair of Rebel defenders.
Rebels took over at the 31-yard line off the Garner interception. Simpson now going left to right from the 36. Trailing by 3. Hand it to Colton. He sheds one defender, sheds two defenders, dragging Joshua Gray into Rebel territory before finally some help arrives. Jack Johnston helped get him down, but boy, what a good gain. 19 yards on that run. First down, and they're in LA territory.
Yeah, Colson has been a hard guy to tackle tonight for the Cougars. He's been running with power, been running with speed, and the Rebels, they're going to have to be strong and fast to defend him.
And one Rebel defender had him about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, tried to hit him on the hip, and he just pushed him away. Had a lot of momentum turning upfield, hard running, yields a big gain and a first down. Sophomore quarterback Baldwin hands it off, same play to Colston. His foot slips as he turns the corner, and he'll lose a yard. I think he may have gone down behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, he'll lose a yard. And the Rebels had good coverage out there. Alan Olivo and Caden Monk were right there with him. 2nd and 11.
Yeah, able to hit him low. He falls to the ground, isn't able to fall forward, just falls back actually and loses a yard. So, like I said a second ago, you had to be strong and fast to defend him, and on that play, that's what the Rebels were.
2nd and 11. 3 wide receivers left side. Tight end split or set on the right. Baldwin moves his feet, going to throw it out front along the line of scrimmage. Short gain on the play by Brady McKinney, the former Cougar quarterback from last season. Got swarmed there, and Jack Johnston gets credit with another tackle. I've got him with 3 solos and 2 assists in the first half.
Yeah, and it looks like Baldwin was looking for another receiver, but he had McKinney there in the check down, and he throws one of those passes to where McKinney is able to catch that check down pass in stride going forward and help gain some more yards and get it to about 3rd and 8. A lot more manageable than 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 11.
Ball on the left hash right between the 43 and 44-yard line, 3rd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Give it to McAlpin. McAlpin will find tough going along left tackle. Won't get anywhere close to the first down. Gets to close to the 40, around the 41. It'll be 4th down and 5. Looks like the Cougars are going to keep the offense on the field, try to convert this 4th down.
Colson not on the field. He's over on that sideline with his helmet off. So not sure if they're expecting him to go back in if this drive continues or not.
Kobe Kemp and also Brennan Evans in on the tackle. 4th and 5, empty backfield. 4, 3, 2, 1. Are they going to call a timeout or take the delay of game? Well, something's got to happen. The officials are about 7-8 seconds late on the delay of game. I've never seen a team try so hard to get a delay of game and fail to get the flag.
Wow. I mean, Like we mentioned, hey, it might be first game jitters for the officials too. Just not very aware of the play clock there. Last night at Mississippi Gulf Coast with East Mississippi Lions playing down there was not a play clock running at Gulf Coast's stadium.
Ball walked back on the delay of game to the 46, and now they'll punt. So Ashmore punt, no pressure, gets a spiraling kick up. It hits at the 20. Rebels are going to run in every direction away from the football, and it'll roll down to the 15 and be down there by Ethan Nations. Rebels take over at the 15 in their own territory, leading 9-6 with 7:07 to play in the Welch Forest Products second quarter.
Yeah, George Wilcox, he got off to a little bit of a tough start. He had the interception early on, his second pass of the game, but since then he has stepped up and he's thrown for 112 yards so far and rushed for 21 on just 3 carries.
Stat updates presented by Wilcox Funeral Home.
6 completions for those 112 yards.
From the 15, left hash going right to left in their navy blue home jerseys. 4 wide receiver set. Hand it off, and boy, the 3 different Simpson defenders were in the backfield, and Garrett Adcock never had a chance. He loses 3 yards.
Yeah, Adcock going to have a conversation with his offensive line there. Let a few guys back there, and not much he could do.
Yeah, and if that's a read play, it's just not the right read. They had too many guys there in the point of attack.
Rebels backed up a little bit more than they want to be on this second down.
Second down and 13. Back to throw. Wilcox lofts it up along the left sideline. Gage Warren has to turn his back, go backwards, falls into the sideline, and can't secure the football. Incomplete just past the 40. The Cougars had Tyler Warren on Gage Warren. They're in coverage.
Yeah, Warren was stretching out for that one, and it looks like he was focusing on getting his feet down more than he was on getting his hands on the ball, and just stumbled there and couldn't bring down the catch. And now it's going to be a tough 3rd and long for the Rebels. Backed up.
From the 12, 3rd and 13. Warren split left, 3 receivers to the right. Over the middle, Wilcox looking, now chase from the pocket, taking off right side. Got a lot of green in front of him, 15-20, but the defender's able to get him in the open field. Good open field tackle out there near the Simpson sideline, right at the 20, and the Rebels will be 5 yards short of what they need for a first down.
Well, there is a flag here on the near side, inside the 10-yard line. Looks like he was in the near side of that backfield. Might have been a little bit of holding going on, some conversations between the officials. It doesn't look like the Rebels are moving forward.
Officials now going to the Simpson sideline and telling them it is indeed on Leake. Coach Todd Mangum says, we'll refuse that penalty and leave them with 4th down.
Yeah, they're going to move up now. It looks like the Rebels were going back. Wasn't sure there if Simpson was trying to accept the penalty to keep them back for a longer 3rd down and have them backed up more for a punt and give the Leake Rebels another opportunity. But no, they're going to decline it and just take the 4th down right where it is.
Punt situation. Right, Pelokas stands back. Not right, Pelokas. Caden Stovall stands back at his 5-yard line. Simpson sends single receiver back. That looks like Colt Walker, who has the touchdown catch. High snap, pulled down. Kick away in plenty of time. Nice looking kick. Hit at the 46 and angle over toward the Rebel bench. Colby Kemp downs it at the Simpson 47. That's where Simpson will take over. 5:58 to go in the Welch Forest Products second quarter. Leake leads at 9-6, and I think we're going to have the heat timeout. Indeed we are. We'll be back as Leake Academy football continues.
Life is full of surprises, but with the right insurance, you can be prepared for whatever comes your way.
At South Group Insurance,
They offer tailored insurance solutions for your home, auto, business, and farm. Whether it's protecting your family or securing your future, they're always there to help.
South Group Insurance agents are local, experienced, and ready to help provide personalized service that's right for you.
South Group Insurance, just off the Court Square in Carthage.
If you love sports, get in the game by getting In Sports. In Sports, just off the square in Philadelphia, puts you in the game with personalized jerseys and fan wear to support your favorite team. In Sports has the cheer uniforms you're looking for, as well as plaques and trophies. Looking for sports equipment? In Sports has that too. In Sports also believes in giving the best possible customer service with in-town deliveries. Be the fan you've always wanted to be with In Sports, just off the square in Philadelphia.
Boswell Media Sports.
5:58 to go before halftime. Leake 9, Simpson 6. Second quarter. We'll remind you that Premier Medical of Carthage is the wellness sponsor of Leake Academy Athletics. Cougar football at the 47 after the Rebel punt. That punt covered 33 yards. 3 wide receivers to the left. They'll run to the right. Give it to Colson. He'll get to the corner, dance around, come back toward the numbers. Stopped about a step, maybe even a yard deep in Leake territory, the 49. Pick up 4 before Will Garner and Kobe Kemp and Joshua Gray get him down.
Yeah, Colson looks like he stepped out of bounds right there about 2 yards before he was brought down, but nobody on the Leake sideline said anything. Colson checked out on that last drive for the last few plays. Looks to be okay after taking a hard hit and sitting on the ground for a while, having to be helped out by one of his teammates, but looks to be okay.
2nd and 6. 2 receivers out to the wide side of the field left, 1 to the right. Colson at the right hip of the quarterback, Baldwin. Hand it to Colson. He'll move around the left side, get away from one defender, but boy, there is Jack Johnston to wrestle him back down to the original line of scrimmage. Loss of 4. Big TFL for Johnston.
Yeah, Johnston with a big play there to chase him down. He was able to bounce around to the outside, Colson was, and Johnson able to chase him down, stay right behind him. Some of the Leake defenders able to help bring him in for Johnston to be right there to make the tackle.
3rd down and 10 plus for the Cougars back at their own 46-yard line, really. We'll say 3rd and 11. Might as well. Won't worry about splitting half a yard here or there. Play clock under 10, and the Cougars break huddle. Come to the line of scrimmage with 3 wide receivers and an H-back to the right side. Send Baldwin back to throw. He's going to throw it out deep. Some contact, but it looks like some incidental contact, incomplete inside the 20-yard line as Riles Wilkerson was in coverage out there on Colt Walker.
Yeah, Wilkerson was just running faster behind him than the receiver was. Not anything for a pass interference call there, not enough contact. He was just running fast behind him, and some good coverage there. Pass was overthrown by the quarterback, Baldwin. So the Rebels going to get the ball back here.
It's a great stand because you've given up some field position there to the Cougars, but Rebel defense stands tall, doesn't let them get the first down, and they'll send Ashmore back to punt. Take the snap, kick a low spiral. Stovall will get it on a bounce at the 13. But, boy, white shirts swarm him, and he only can get a couple after picking that ball up off the grass. Goes up to the 16-yard line before he's brought to his knees.
Yeah, that one was losing speed there on the bounce. Wouldn't have had enough room to bounce into the end zone. So Stovall had to make a risky play there and pick it up off the bounce with defenders coming near him. Good thing for him, he was able to bring it in. And nothing too bad happened for the Rebels.
There is a penalty, so it looks like we may do this one over again, Coop. Assist there from our cameraman, Mason.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to write things down. I think you were doing the same. Illegal procedure, the call against Simpson. And they'll accept that penalty, make them do it all over again. See if the Rebels can net better starting field position. .403 to play before halftime. Officiating crew kind of They were about to get it going without marking the 5 yards penalty.
4th and 20.
Ashmore stands back at his 26. Punts it away, wobbles. Rebels going to get a nice bounce here. Is just going to die at the 38-yard line, and it's down by Paxton Dale. So the Rebels, thanks to the pre-snap penalty, come out with a lot better field position with under 4 minutes to play in the the Welch Forest Products second quarter, leading this game 9-6.
Yeah, it's a big-time situation there for the Rebels to change that field position. You know, able to get the penalty call, and then just, I guess, a little bit too much pressure on the punt there. Came off the wrong side of the foot. Didn't get enough distance that he wanted.
2 receivers out to each side for Wilcox. Ball on the left hash. John David Gill back in at running back. Senior quarterback wants to throw. Pocket collapses. He extends the play out to the right. Now fires it low. Is it complete? Or no, yeah, it is incomplete. He tried to get it out to Easton Page at the Simpson 45, but it was just too low.
Yeah, and what a way to evade a sack there for George Wilcox. It looked like he had 3 guys closing in on him, and then just able to push through and then get around to the edge, make a throw on the run that was accurate, just a little too low.
2nd and 10, and Wilcox shows you there how good he is at extending the play. He's not, he's not Michael Vick and just going to take off and razzle-dazzle up the field, but he can extend the play and find somebody open. All right, 2nd and 10. Set up a screen, throw it to Gage Warren. He comes back middle of the field into Simpson territory, across the 45. Tripped up, but there is a flag along the line of scrimmage. So let's hold on. Been lots of flags.
A great fake there for Wilcox as he looked to the right and then turned right back around. Looked like he threw it before he was even looking at his receiver, Warren. Able to find him there, and perfect blocking there for the Leake offense. Picks up some yardage, but we'll see if the penalty takes it back.
Coach Brian Pickens coming outside the numbers between the numbers and the hash to talk to the officiating crew, try to plead the case why there shouldn't be a penalty. I wonder if that maybe was an illegal lineman downfield or what, something having to do with the way that play developed, I think. So there's discussion going on now. The referee's going to walk away, and doesn't look like Coach Pickens is very happy about the outcome.
Wilcox in disbelief too, throwing his hands up, wondering what's going on there, and they're going to take it back quite a few yards.
Yeah, illegal lineman downfield is the call. Walk it back 5 yards, 2nd and 15. Ineligible receiver downfield technically is what it is. 3 wide receiver set. Riker Wells in the game as an H-back set to the left. Gill at running back. Rebels with a 3-point lead. Hand off to Gill. He'll find 2 yards to the 35, and that is all he's going to get. It's Jacob Colson, linebacker, and 66 Eli Brewer stopped him. 3rd and 13 for the red and blue of Leake. Garrett Adcock returns to the game. They'll also bring in a 4th wide receiver. 3-man front for the Cougars. They'll rush 4. Plenty of time for Wilcox. He's going to launch it deep up the right side into a crowd. Incomplete. It was intended for Easton Page.
Yeah, he threw it downfield into triple coverage. Just a little less air on it than he wanted, or maybe threw it a little too late, but just didn't get it placed as good as he wanted it to.
Yeah, Page had a step for a while, but that, like you said, that ball hung up just a little bit. Maybe it was a little late coming out of the hands of Wilcox, and that'll send Caden Stovall out to punt.
A little trouble with the snap the last time. Stovall had to leap up high in the air to save the ball from going in the back of the end zone.
Another high snap. Pull down, kick away. Nice job getting it away under pressure. It hits inside the 35 and comes to the near side. The Rebels, Joey Saki downs it right between the 27 and 28-yard line. So Simpson takes over with 2 minutes, 40 seconds to play before halftime in the Welch Forest Products second quarter. It's Leake 9, Simpson 6, and we'll tell you that when we come to the Carthage Veterinary Clinic halftime, we're going to talk to Brantley Scott, the head softball coach at Leake Academy, and we'll get some scores to you as well, as many as we can scrape up from the Twitter machine and the Scorebook Live machine.
Coach Scott, another Nanawoya alum, to be on here.
Nanawoya punches above its weight class in terms of quality people. You know, you find great Nanawoya natives everywhere. Here's 1st and 10. Handoff, Colson gets to the second level. Carter Pigg hits him. He shakes loose, breaks to the outside 40. Cross midfield. Garner going to be the last one to get a chance at getting him down and wrangles him out of bounds at the 33.
What are the things you have to do to stop Colson? You have to run fast and you have to be strong.
31 yards on the game. That puts some life in the far sideline. A 9-6 ball game. Line of scrimmage, the LA 33-yard line. Clock starts moving. No, it doesn't. No, he went out of bounds. That's right. 2:28 to play. I have to kind of make an effort, stick my neck out the window to see the clock. We'll find a way to fix that, but it looks like a Lee Realty timeout is going to be taken by Simpson. We'll keep things right here. Late second quarter. Next week, Rebels will be at the Brickyard on Ridgewood Road in Jackson. Sheffield Drive, to be precise.
Oh, yeah, Jackson Academy going to have a strong team this year. A lot of big-time recruits on that team. A few new guys on that roster. I'm hearing big things about them.
Big things expected from the Raiders. And we'll get a first-hand look at them in week 2 next week. Rebels and Raiders, 6:10 the start time for the Crossgates Jewelers pregame and a 7 o'clock kickoff. Leake and Jackson Academy, and then we'll be back at home the next week. Host Winona Christian. This game was tied 6-6 after one quarter. The only score of the second period has been a 32-yard field goal by Caden Stovall. Cougars 1st and 10 at the Leake 33. Wide side of the field to the right. They'll run it in that direction with Colston. Kobe Kemp closing in. He gets to the corner, then gets stood up by Will Garner, and Garner is able to get him to go sideways out of bounds at the 26, and that's a good gain of about 7 on first down.
Yeah, Garner's been one of those guys that has been able to single-handedly stop Colson on some plays. It's taken a few guys on most of these plays tonight, but Garner able to make the stop there. He was able to push him out of bounds just a few plays ago. So Garner has to continue being strong.
But in terms of the so-called skill positions, because there's skill at being a lineman. That's why I say so-called, not trying to diminish what the receivers and backs do. But this is a very different look and a different lineup from what Simpson presented the last couple of years. They used to have often liked to line up in an I formation and ram it down your throat. Well, here's a throw. Baldwin has a man open at the 10. It's caught. Still on his feet. McKinney fighting inside the 5, and the Rebels get him out of bounds at about the 2, maybe even the 1.
Yeah, McKinney with a delayed wheel route there. It looked like that outside receiver couldn't see who it was. I believe it might have been Colt Walker was running a post, drew 2 defenders off. That wide drew the corner off and the free safety off, allowing tons of space for McKinney to be out in the open.
First and goal at the 1. Simpson gets into the performance therapy red zone. And they will spend their last time out of the half, talk about what they want to do with a short yardage situation. We'll keep it right here. Don't want to be late on a first and goal play. But go ahead and give us a couple of scores, if you would, Coop.
All right, over in Louisville, you have Louisville leading West Point 7-6 right now. Lamar leading Wayne Academy 13-0. Kosciuszko on the other side of Boswell Media, currently leading Neshoba Central 21-0 at the half.
That is a wow.
Few scores not quite updated yet. Right down the road in Philadelphia, they are tied with Noxapater, 14-14 at halftime.
We are close to halftime, and the Carthage Veterinary Clinic halftime, 1:19 to go in the half. And the Cougars are knocking at the door, trying to retake the lead. They led it 6-0, but Leake has scored a touchdown and a field goal since then. And they'll bring in a heavy package. Cougars line up. They move the line of scrimmage back to about the 2, so we'll call it 1st and goal for the 2. But they've got, looks like the Philadelphia Eagles tush-push formation. That's what they have. They'll just ram the quarterback up the middle, have guys shoving him. He stays upright and falls across the right side of the line into the end zone for a Simpson touchdown. And they snapped it directly back to Colston, looks like. Yep, that's what they did. That was Colston on a direct snap, and the big bodies just practically carried him across the end zone, or across the goal line, excuse me.
Yeah, it's like everyone's adapting the tush-push these days. It's like everyone runs the play. The Eagles don't even get to have that specific to them anymore. Now a 12-9 lead.
Point after attempt was missed last time. Snap, hold, kick, up, away, and it's good. New score in the game. Simpson 13 and Leake 9 with a minute and 13 seconds to go. We'll be back with the Moore's Pharmacy kickoff.
Navigate your way to Carthage Collision Center. Easy to find, right on Highway 16 in Carthage. Our professionals offer exceptional repair services, getting you back on the road in no time. Experience unparalleled customer service coupled with cutting-edge technology. Call us 601-267-4727. Make a turn towards peace of mind with Carthage Collision Center, where quality meets reliability.
Hunting season is here, and Leake County Co-op has everything you need to get ready. From ammunition to deer attractants, premium deer feed, and the seed to plant your perfect food plot, they've got you covered. And cattlemen, don't forget, it's almost time to plant ryegrass and winter wheat for winter grazing. Lock in the best pricing by prepaying for your ryegrass seed before October 15th. So whether you're headed to the woods or the pasture, come see us at Leake County Co-op, where neighbors help neighbors since 1936.
Boswell Media Sports.
Moore's Pharmacy kickoff from J.D. Lane. Rebels have Warren and maybe Adcock back there. Can't quite see his number. That's a squib kick over to the right side, scooped up at the 24-yard line. Caden Stovall moving in the middle of the field. Near the right hash, reaches the 32 before Wyatt Fortenberry rides him down. The Rebels take over with about a minute to play, trailing 13-9. Big drive there late in the half for Simpson.
Yeah, Stovall has now received 2 kicks. There's been 2 kickoffs for the Cougars. Both have gone to Stovall, so if it involves kicking, Stovall's involved in it tonight.
Two wide receivers to each side. Wilcox looking left side, throws it underneath to Gage Warren, caught at the 45 to the 50, then gets to the 46. Good pass, catch, and run for a Central Mississippi Animal Clinic first down to the Cougar 46.
And Wilcox needed that one to gain his confidence back. He's had 3 straight incompletions before that completion right there.
57 seconds to play. Half as Wilcox gets hit from behind as he throws, and the ball is incomplete. Got hit hard from behind by Jack Lee. Just came around the left tackle and got him. Second and 10 for the Rebels. 22. Here's a second out play. It's got Gage Warren, but was he inbounds or was he out of bounds? No, he was out of bounds. Yeah, that lead foot was out of bounds left side inside the 10.
He tried to get that back foot in just in time, but that front foot hit out of bounds first, and the official was right there to make the call, and he was the closest one there, so he made the right call.
3rd and 10 for LA. 44 seconds left before halftime. Out of a 2-by-2 set, keep the running back in to block. Throw, pass tip to the line of scrimmage, and it'll go into the Rebel sideline, incomplete. Good job getting the hand up there. Looked like Eli Brewer who made the deflection. 4th and 10 for the Rebels. Drive started with promise with a big 22-yard gain. Since then, 3 straight incompletions. Offense staying out there. Wouldn't be surprised to see a hard count here and see if you could get Simpson to come across and give you a shorter 4th down play. They'll take the snap, belt high, looking to throw into the near sideline. Pass caught by Gage Warren. Right along the sticks, but he got pushed back. Yeah, they'll give him a nice spot to the 35-yard line, and that'll be an 11-yard gain and a Central Mississippi Animal Clinic 1st down.
Yeah, he was right there at the sticks, just on this near side instead of the far side, and a great play to leap up and be strong in the air to get up and not fall back away from the sticks.
Clock put in motion. 27 seconds ticking away before halftime. Snap back to Wilcox. He's going to fire it toward the end zone into a crowd. And it is caught and intercepted in the end zone.
Yeah, the second interception of the game for Wilcox. Just
Hayes Algie got his second interception.
Not where that ball needed to be placed. Looked like the receiver, Gage Warren, went up, tried to pull it down, but just too many hands with white jerseys right there to keep it away from him.
That's the 3rd Rebel turnover of the half. Rebels -2 in turnover margin in the first half. Looks like Simpson will run out the half. Looks like they've got their victory formation in there. And they'll be content to take a knee and go into the locker room leading by 4 points.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. With 13 seconds and 80 yards to go, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
You know, you get a little too risky there and throw one up in the air and Hail Mary, the amount of space it allows up the field, just got to play conservative.
We'll take a break as well, and then we'll come back with a halftime interview with softball coach Brantley Scott. Goop and I will give you a recap of the first half and give you a whole lot more during the Carthage Veterinary Clinic halftime, as when we return, Simpson 13, Leake 9 at the midway point.
Build your barn with Ozark Ag from the ground up. Expanding your poultry operation is simple and fast when you turn to the poultry pros that you'll find at Ozark Ag. They're your go-to partner for poultry barn construction. So let's check that checklist, shall we? Full service design and build? Check. Equipment installation? Check, check. And service that lasts long after the barn is finished? Check, check, check. And by the way, this just in, check. Build strong together. Call or go by to get started. Ozark Ag, Highway 16, Carthage.
My knee rehab was 100% successful thanks to Performance Therapy. They sat down with me and created a plan to ensure I would achieve my personal rehabilitation goals, and they encouraged me to get the most out of every session. Performance Therapy provided plenty of material for me to continue my rehab in between sessions too. Hopefully I don't have to see them in the future, but if I did, I would definitely choose Performance Therapy again.
For more information, go to performancetherapyms.com. Performance Therapy, Carthage, Philadelphia, and Forest.
Did you know most people overpay by up to 50% for individual health insurance? David Barham Insurance will save you that. Plus, David has the best rates on the market for Medicare supplement. The solution is not on the internet or far away. It's right here in Carthage. David Barham, a local insurance agent you can trust. Make sure you have the best coverage and price. Call David Barham, 601-941-1280 on the north side of the square in Carthage.
Walk into the shimmering world of Cross Gates Jewelers and Pearl, where every piece of fine jewelry will tell a story and represent the memories of your life. Their GIA graduate gemologist will show you their exquisite collection of engagement rings and bridal sets, answering any questions you may have when choosing the perfect diamond and setting. Their expert in-house repairs ensures your cherished items are in the best hands. Crossgate Jewelers, located at the corner of Cross Park and Highway 80 in Pearl. You are unique, and your jewelry should be too.
Guess what, people?
When memories matter most, trust Wilcox Funeral Home to honor your loved one's legacy with compassion and dignity. Our caring team walks with you every step of the way, providing comfort and support during life's most difficult moments. From personalized services to attentive planning, Wilcox Funeral Home is your partner in remembrance and healing. Celebrate a life well lived, because every story deserves to be told, cherished, and never forgotten. Wilcox Funeral Home. Our family, serving your family for 90 years now. Jordan Street, Carthage.
Baptist League Rural Health Clinics have a variety of healthcare options with primary care, pediatrics, and women's health. Providing care at 3 locations in Carthage, Walnut Grove, and Madden. Call 601-267-1470 today to schedule your appointment. Extended hours and Saturdays are available at our primary care clinic located in Carthage. Baptist League, making your health care our #1 priority.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for your high school cheerleaders.
It's the Carthage Veterinary Clinic halftime. We showed you the Leake Academy varsity cheerleaders. Our score, Simpson Academy 13, Leake 9. We'll give you a scoring recap here. Leake kicked off to Simpson to start the game, and it was a 71-yard drive that took 2.5 minutes. Simpson moved down the field, aided by some Leake penalties. And their quarterback, Braxton Baldwin, found Colt Walker in the back of the end zone, right side. Great catch, toe tap at the back of the end zone for a 21-yard touchdown pass. Kick was missed off to the side. It was 6-0 Cougars, the 9:31 mark of the first quarter. Leake, on their first 2 possessions, turned it over. Interception in the end zone by Hayes Algie. And then a fumble by Caden Stovall inside the 5-yard line, and it was picked up and returned up to the 4-yard line. Leake got deep in Cougar territory but couldn't score. But the third time they started with good field position at their own 45 after a punt. After a punt. And then converted that short field into a touchdown. 146 mark of the 146 mark of the first quarter. And it was junior running back Garrett Adcock running it in from 4 yards out. Extra point was missed. We were tied 6-6 with under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Simpson was able to, the Rebels were able to get the lead after an interception off a tip ball. Will Garner picked it off at the 31. Rebels didn't really move it down very well, but got close enough to line up a 32-yard field goal attempt for Caden Stovall, and he really kicked a nice ball between the pipes and made it 9-6 at the 10:26 mark of the second quarter. Teams went back and forth during the remainder of the second quarter, but Simpson was able to rally and get an impressive drive going. That started at their own 33, so they took it 67 yards down the field. Got Colston in on a tush-push play from inside the 2-yard line, and second time point after attempt was good, and it was 13-9. Leake got into Cougar territory once again, but the interception was thrown in the waning seconds of the half into the end zone, and it's 13-9. So Rebels have had a lot of opportunities, have moved the ball, but don't quite have the points to show for it. And welcome you into the Carthage Vet Clinic halftime. I'm Philip Palmertree. We've got Cooper Sanders with us. Cooper, what are some of your observations from the first half?
Yeah, it was a very slow start for the Rebels, and then they kicked it into gear, and they were rolling. They were rolling, and then it was like there were penalties or there were just unfortunate turnovers that cost them and slowed them down. You know, you had the deep pass on the second throw for George Wilcox this game that was unfortunately intercepted. And then just on the next drive, Stovall marching down the field, tries to stretch out and loses his balance and loses the football as well for the fumble inside the 5. And then just a few more unfortunate events slowed down the Rebels. It was like George Wilcox there for a second. He was rolling. He had multiple completions in a row. I'm seeing 4 straight completions. He jumps up from 21 yards to 102 yards on the game. 4 straight completions that were for about 80 yards total there, and then incompletion. Gets a completion, then 3 straight incompletions again, completes one, and then throws an interception. He's 7 for 17 on the game, and it's like those incompletions have come in bunches.
Yep.
And he's had to recover from that and then go right back to it. He's going to have to be consistent here in the second half for the Rebels, and going to have to cut out those interceptions that we've seen early on.
We'll take another break and come back with more of the Carthage Veterinary Clinic halftime. We'll highlight a couple of more stats and things about this first half, what the Rebels need to do to retake the lead and get a hold of this ball game. They trail Simpson at halftime 13-9. We'll return as Leake Academy football continues from Boswell Media Sports.
When it comes to finding the perfect home, experience matters. Lee Realty is connecting buyers with quality new construction homes tailored to their needs. Hey, it's Stacey O'Neill with Lee Realty. Whether you're starting fresh or upgrading, our team will guide you every step of the way, making the process simple, smooth, and stress-free. Ready to get started? Give us a call today.
We don't want everyone's business, just yours. Lee Realty, 206 West Pickens Street, Philadelphia, 601-562-7123.
West Side Body Shop says, let's face it, stuff happens. And when it does, they can take care of damage as small as a chip in your windshield all the way up to full collision services. Insurance claims are always welcome too. Just be sure your first stop is West Side Body Shop in Philadelphia. They also specialize in truck accessories, including toolboxes, visors, Nerf bars, and winches. They make your ride look cool. West Side Body Shop, just off Beacon Street on Waterview Lane, right behind the Huddle House in Philadelphia.
Roll into Junction Deli, where nourishment meets journey. On the menu, delectable breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Whether you're in Philadelphia, Newton, Union, Carthage, Louisville, Oxford, or Scuba, we're the local pit stop that blends the allure of delicious food with the convenience of a fuel station.
Remember, when your stomach grumbles or your tank covers on empty, we're just around the corner. Download the Junction app for ordering convenience and look for the new car wash in Louisville next to Walmart.
Hunting season is here, and Leake County Co-op has everything you need to get ready. From ammunition to deer attractants, premium deer feed, and the seed to plant your perfect food plot, they've got you covered. And cattlemen, don't forget, it's almost time to plant ryegrass and winter wheat for winter grazing. Lock in the best pricing by prepaying for your ryegrass seed before October 15th. So whether you're headed to the woods or the pasture, come see us at Leake County Co-op, where neighbors help neighbors since 1936.
Thanks to Rosebud General Store, I can get all I need to work the farm right here at home.
Because they go hand in hand with what you use. Spreaders, hay bale rings, cattle catch pens, head gates, and fencing supplies. And let's not forget a great clothing department with boots and shoes to clothe the whole family.
Plus feed and medicine for all our animals, and even a deli to feed us farmers at lunch. That's my faithful friends at Rosebud General Store, Highway 487 East in Rosebud.
When dealing with something as complex as taxes and payroll can be, you can turn to Weaver Tax and Accounting to make things easier. Their professional staff works diligently to make sure your business and personal returns are complete and finished in a timely manner. Weaver Tax and Accounting will also execute your bookkeeping and payroll, bringing you the best in tax services since 1979. Weaver Tax and Accounting, 20 South Street, Sebastopol, and 109 Chadwick Avenue in Walnut Grove.
Woodstock Furniture in Philadelphia says, let's go Rebels. Woodstock Furniture has a game plan to score big-time savings for our Rebel faithful all season long. Family-owned and operated, Woodstock Furniture at 70 Canal Place in Philadelphia behind McAllister's has a winning tradition with their low price guarantee on furniture for every room in the house. Plus, if you buy it today, you get it today. Woodstock Furniture at 70 Canal Place in Philadelphia loves the Rebels like the Rebels love to win.
Boswell Media Sports.
Carthage Vet Clinic halftime from Madden. Simpson leads Leake 13-9. Here are a few scores, these from the southwestern part of Mississippi. One of the games we're following tonight, Jackson Prep going down to Park Lane. Park Lane hasn't beaten Jackson Prep since 1994. But the Pioneers, defending 5A state champions, remember they beat the Rebels in the state championship game in Jackson last year. They lead Jackson Prep 12-0 at halftime. Madison St. Joe leads Copiah at halftime 7-3. Silliman just beaten up on Bowling Green in the first half. We'll see Bowling Green about middle part of the season. Silliman leads 24-0. Brookhaven Academy up big over Clinton Christian at halftime 28-0. Wilkinson County Christian leads Ben's Ford 16-6 at halftime in an 8-man game. And Centerville leads Sacred Heart 8-6. Couple of more scores. Get Brandon Shields back on here. Just what people send him. Okay, let's see. Yeah. In fact, partner here, he's a Brandon Shields man as well. He's the best source, and you just get things from all over the place. But we'll highlight a couple of things. Macomb up big at halftime over Tylertown 33-0. Clinton leads Warren Central at half 28-6. Choctaw County up 7-0 on East Webster at the half. And Knox should be leading Heidelberg 21-20 at the halftime. That should be a good game as well. You got any others you see, Coop? See, we mentioned Kosciuszko leading the Neshoba Central 21-0.
I see Simpson up 13-9 on Leake.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Shields retweets.
And you can see that up at the top of the the screen on the Triple M Motors video stream. But yeah, Central Hines leads Shaw 7-0 at the half. Of course, Central Hines is in our district now, so we pay attention to that. And then Brandon leading, number 2 Brandon leading number 1 Tupelo at halftime 7-2.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a baseball score.
Just one of those early season. It's like lately we see 2 top 5 teams face off to start the year. And Tupelo and Brandon's about as good as it gets in the state of Mississippi.
And hey, here's some college football scores. Almost halftime. Georgia Tech and Colorado tied 10-10. Auburn leads Baylor at the 2-minute warning in the first half, 17-10. So those are a couple of interesting college football scores as junior college got underway last night in the MAC Conference. East Central lost. That's my team that I cover. Cooper covers East Mississippi. They went down to Perkinston and lost to a really good Gulf Coast team.
Yeah, Gulf Coast looked good. Gulf Coast, they moved the ball well, and Lions offense, they looked great. We were moving the ball spectacularly and just were held back in some areas of the game.
What do you think are some important keys for the Rebels when they get the ball to start the third quarter, Coop?
I mean, this is going to be a basic and more of a coach's answer here, but consistency.
Yeah.
They've got to be consistent. There's been times where they've been really, really good, and then it's just something stops it. And you got to play discipline as well. I think they've really grown into just knocking those first game jitters off and getting away from the undisciplined penalties. Now they just got to put it all together. They've got to be consistent. Wilcox has to find open receivers, and he's got to make great throws, which he's been doing.
You feel like if the Rebels can play their game, we should be pretty happy with the results. One thing I think Simpson's done with greater efficiency or effectiveness throughout the flow of the first half, I'd say the last 7 or 8 minutes of the second quarter, they enhanced their pass rush, and they pressured George Wilcox more than they did in the first quarter. Wilcox was just standing back there with all the time in the world a lot in the first quarter, but he's had to release it under some duress and got hit from behind, and some balls that fluttered incomplete. So pass protection got to be shored up a little bit. And if you can protect number one, he'll find somebody open.
Yeah, and it's been two completely different games from these two teams. Of course, the Cougars, they've been attacking the run. Colson has been incredible in the run game tonight. The Leake Academy Rebels, they've made some big plays in the run game. They haven't really been able to stop the pass when the Cougars do pass. Cougars have been able to find open receivers and make big plays. And, of course, for the Rebels, they haven't really gotten the run game going. It's right at about 44 yards on the ground for the Rebels in this first half. Adcock, Wilcox, those guys, they're going to have to get going.
Consistency in the run game would only help the Rebels' aerial attack, to be sure. Well, we've moved to the third quarter of tonight's Leake Academy football game presented by Westside Body Shop. Cougars will kick off left to right. Rebels put Garrett Adcock and Gage Warren back deep to receive. Here we go to start the third quarter. Simpson leads it by 4. J.D. Lane heard the whistle blow as it lined up at the 40. Third quarter is underway. Deep end over end kick taken inside the 15 by Warren. He'll break outside the numbers right side, get past the defender to the 35, on his feet 40. Finally shoved out of bounds into the Simpson sideline, and a tremendous return to the 44-yard line, and that's a big boost for the Rebel offense.
Yeah, a great return there. That was the first kick for the Cougars that was able to get to the return man for the Rebels, and had a few short kicks, but until then, that one he booted down the field.
We'll remind you tonight's stats and score updates presented by Wilcox Funeral Home. Rebels will send out Riker Wells as an H-back, probably to enhance that pass protection. He was in on just a few snaps in the first half. Subbing for the injured Major Chandler. Handoff on first down, but no gain for Adcock. He got hit low and driven sideways. Jack Lee breaking through the Rebel O-line. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they start off the second half with a run. Like we said, they need to get the run game going. Unable to get it there. See what they can do on offense this drive.
2nd and 10, 3 wide receiver set. Quick throw to Gage Warren at midfield. He's hit once, twice, 3 times, and goes down after a gain of 7, maybe 8 yards. We'll call it 8 to the 48-yard line. The Rebels have 3rd and short. Quick release, maybe get those corners up a little bit. Maybe then you can work something deep later off that. The Rebels want to move the chains here on 3rd and 2. Hand off Adcock, and he takes a defender with him down to the 45-yard line, and that will move the chain. Central Mississippi Animal first down for the Rebels. He took Braxton Baldwin with him.
Doesn't look like the chains are moving yet.
Okay, well, now they're going to say 4th down.
Got 4th. It was a close call. I thought
No. Yeah, the head man comes, looks down the line, says, oh, that's a first down.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like he got that extra yard, but
he was just going to let the boss make the decision there.
Oh, yeah.
1st and 10 from the Cougar 46 after picking up the first down. on the ground. Go again to Adcock. He'll bang into big Branson Maddox, stay on his feet and get another yard close to the 43. Yeah, right to the 43. That's a gain of 3, and the Rebels are set with 2nd and 7. One thing for Simpson, they've got quite a few guys who are playing both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Colson, one of those who's made some great plays on both sides.
Wilcox to throw on first down. Little hitch pattern out to the right side, complete to Easton Page. He'll get close to the sticks. Get about 6 and leave the Rebels with 3rd and 1. Quick tackle, made out there by Brady McKinney.
And Wilcox is one of those guys, that little hitch route with how much space was between receiver and defender. Not a lot of quarterbacks would be able to get the ball to the receiver in that amount of time.
Adcock on the run, gets the first down, breaks to the outside, 30, up the sideline, 20, 10. And he tiptoes up the sideline. Is he in? Waiting for the signal, looks like 6 for the Rebels.
And what a run there by Adcock to get to the outside. And once he found the sideline and he saw the space he had, he turned on the Jets, got to the end zone, made a move right there inside the 5, and scores for the Rebels, giving them the lead back.
Rebel touchdowns presented by Weaver Tax and Accounting. Got a delayed signal. Officials were looking at each other saying, well, did you think he stepped out of bounds? I didn't see him step out of bounds. What'd you think? And so finally they say touchdown. The Rebels get a big run, 2nd TD scamper of the night for Garrett Adcock. Extra point snap is mishandled by the holder, and they get it away, but it's just kind of a weak attempt at a kick, and the Rebels 0 for 2 on point after attempts. But they have retaken the lead. It's Leake 15 and Simpson 13 after the Rebel touchdown. We'll be back with the Moore's Pharmacy kickoff.
If spending days looking for top dollar for your timber has left you feeling like you're barking up the wrong tree, then I would listen closely. Welch Forest Products in Union does it better than anyone and with the least possible damage to your property. Whether it's management, forestry care, pine plantation, thinning, or site prep, the last number you'll dial is 601-774-8200. They buy land with or without timber too. Call Bo Welch now at Welch Forest Products today. 601-774-8200.
Roll into Junction Deli, where nourishment meets journey. On the menu, delectable breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Whether you're in Philadelphia, Newton, Union, Carthage, Louisville, Oxford, or Scuba, we're the local pit stop that blends the allure of delicious food with the convenience of a fuel station.
Remember, when your stomach grumbles or your tank covers on empty, we're just around the corner. Download the Junction app for ordering convenience and look for the new car wash in Louisville next to Walmart.
Boswell Media Sports.
Colt Walker on the kickoff return gets stopped in his tracks at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Braden Welch able to stop him in his tracks there, run after him, and not let him get anywhere once he hit him. Strong play there by Welch.
9:21 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Rebels score in their opening possession and get a big 36-yard run from Garrett Adcock. Ran up the middle, then broke it out to the left, got to the sideline and kicked it into that higher gear. Scores the touchdown. Extra point failed. The Rebels took it 56 yards for the score, and that's a drive presented